taxes, but it's like we're paying just to...
Who is very close to getting knee surgery. Actually, his wife.
I remember when Obama came in and said, you know what, I need $15 trillion. And they said, well, what for? Well, I'll let you know after I get it. And that was that bailout of General Motors and whatever else. Whatever, you know, it was that rebuilding of America crap, whatever that was. Yeah, GM paid the money back, but you know what? This is capitalism. You make a crappy product, you go out of business. That's the way it's supposed to work. And if you have $15 trillion in your pocket, why don't you start a hydrogen economy and instead of fossil fuels, which I don't know that there's global warming, but regardless of that, there's no reason to be burning oil when we could be making hydrogen other ways with nuclear or solar or whatever, and get off of the oil. And even if it costs more for a BTU, it's funny money. It starts here and it ends here, and we own it.
Because Americans are lazy. They're going to go for the cheapest and the easiest every single time. Not better, not safer, not more economical, not environmentally friendly. Cheapest and easiest every time.
And that's absolutely true. I completely agree with you. The reason we haven't done it is because of the affordability of fuel, and if that shouldn't be the impediment. We should have superior leadership that would look at this and say, you know what, oil's really good for making plastics. I don't know that we really should be using it for fuel. And but I think it's going to change pretty quick anyhow. If you've been looking at what they're doing with fusion, I don't know, it was 6 years ago, 7 years ago, somebody at the Skunk Works came out and said that, you know what, we can do this. If it was anybody but the Skunk Works, I would have thought it was coal fusion again and Palladium and that nonsense. And now I'm reading there's these consortiums and all these other countries working on it, and that it's actually going to happen. And that'll just change everything. If you could imagine a world where energy is very, very affordable, almost free, what could you do? And the first thing that I think about is you could be pumping fresh water from the Great Lakes or other areas into arid parts, desert, and making all this land that would be, impossible to farm to be good farmland if you had the water. And I don't know that you would drain the Great Lakes doing that, but where they're running out of the aquifers, you'd be able to pump the water affordably if energy didn't cost anything. Over.
Well, if you want to have a huge impact on energy, quit consuming so much of it.
I didn't copy that.
Yeah, start with the AMers. It's so wasteful.
Well, I heard that's the proposal for the current administration, Phil, is that all those unused 2-meter FM repeaters, there's one right now. Did you hear it? Nobody ever uses it. Turn them all off.
Yeah, man.
I mean, how many kilowatts of power is being consumed by them right now? What are there, thousands of them across the country right now?
First the repeaters, and then they're going to come for your carrier. They're going to take your carrier from you.
And they can carry all 1,500 pounds of it out of here, too.
Every time they bury one of those big fat girls, you could render that fat, turn it into it's energy. It's energy. You just render it, and power plants and stuff. We could probably go like, I don't know, 8-10 years just on fat.
I'll bet that would be a winning topic at your next party.
Oh, big girls. Shade in the summer, warmth in the winter. Come on, Larry.
Like that stuff. I do, but that's one of the concessions.
Please get me off it.
Less parties here.
I'll be back. Maybe.
Hello, Clark.
About, these people do these New Year's resolutions, and I was thinking New Year's predictions, crazy New Year's prediction, because of the craziness that happens is almost unpredictable. And Clark, you must have some New Year's predictions. What's the craziest thing that's going to happen in 2022?
The Christian Bible Net will take over 7,200.
Yeah, but that might actually happen. I'm thinking something that you wouldn't expect, like Dolly Parton spontaneously combusting, but the fire department refusing to put it out. And I'm not sure why they wouldn't, but there's just bizarre things that you wouldn't expect. Remember all those crazy things that used to be on the cover of the Inquirer? I don't know, they even have the Inquirer anymore?
I believe so.
Well, I'm not much on understanding, the difference between a corollary, a maxim in the law, and any of that. But I have kind of this thing in the back of my head, and that the number of UFO images is inversely proportional to the number of working cameras in a population. That is, back in the 60s, when people would shoot a roll of film every 6 months, maybe, there were way more pictures of UFOs. There's a picture on the Inquirer every friggin' week of a UFO, or Nessie or something like that, Bigfoot. And now that virtually everybody has a working camera in the pocket, there's no pictures of UFOs. What is that?
This is like having dawn on frequency.
Yeah, what are we talking about here? Hello, Clark.
Good afternoon.
This is Berm, KD2BRM, Berm, as you say.
A.K.A. Ernesto.
Yeah, my Spanish half side, my Mexican side, correct. Let me get my sombrero.
I'm just marveling at the splatter 7 kilohertz away.
It's like being at the beach too close to the wave.
How's that for ramming clippers with no low-pass filter to follow?
You're such an electronic gangster.
Well, when you don't have multiple legal limit to run, then you gotta run good mod, I guess.
Don't be silly.
Who's being silly?
Yeah, 3860 to 3890. Yeah. Not even going to get into the RF portion. That was just frequency related.
Supercilious.
I came up with an epiphany earlier today that you could easily run a messy-ass clipper, just raw back-to-back diodes on your audio, if you have that audio fed into, like, pretty much any rice box, because the frequency limitation is just so, like, over the top, so, draconian, right? Especially if you have an ICOM, like any model ICOM, that it's perfect. It's set up for having a clipper, and clippers make you damn loud. So I don't know. I think that there's going to be an article or some kind of a thread on QRZ started about the importance of clipping and rice boxes.
I'm going to unbox my 101 and set it full bore right here, just for you. Not tonight, soon.
Well, that's a Yaesu, right?
Yeah.
All right. I actually have heard 101 sound like E-rigs. Fairly amazing. I think back in the day when you had access to the balance modulator, you really did have access to the balance modulator. Not like some of the discussions that Phil and I have recently had where you think you're getting access to a balance modulator, but oh no, it's like way, way, way over there on the other side of all kinds of tight-ass filtering.
Oh yeah, if Frank got on here, if SDR got on here with his hi-fi 101, he would sound probably better than my, not probably, he will, I'll say that for the record, for anyone recording this particular comment without getting strapped by somebody running 1200 watts on a Class E rig. Yeah, he will sound better than me on his FT 101. But I can fire up an FT 101 that is fully stock with a Turner Plus 2 amplified CB style microphone and fit the description I think you're explaining, Clark. Back to you.
Well, my main gist was the fact that because so many of the Ricebox rigs have extremely restrictive audio bandwidth filtering, like 3 kilohertz if you're super lucky, then since that's pretty much part of the stock design, why not employ clipping, and you don't have to worry about the clipping effects afterwards. So you can be super loud, which is exactly what you get with raw clipping. And, hey, let the rig do what it needs to do and get rid of all those other artifacts.
Copy on that.
Clark, I meant to mention to you, you know that in Greece, those guys with their AM, I think you bought a transmitter from that guy over in Greece.
Well, actually, it turned out to be Bulgaria, but yeah.
Well, there's a couple of guys there on eBay, and one guy is selling for $100 a 0.5 to 30 megahertz AM stereo transmitter, and he's using the same $3 Chinese DDS board, the same one that I'm using in my FT 5000, which I'm on right now, by the way. But it's a quarter of a milliwatt, something like that, very low level. But it's AM stereo, and for $100, I mean, you can just jack that into your ICOM 751 or 735 TX, right before the pre-driver, and that would be enough drive to drive that thing to like 20 watts or so, and you would be super hi-fi and in stereo if that's what you wanted to do.
Look at all the stereophonic content that I generate on this frequency. Or I could just take a signal generator and transmit a 25 cycle tone and get everybody's AM stereo pilot light to come on their ham receivers? Yeah. And accomplish the same thing.
Yeah, when are they going to shut down the AM broadcast band and give it to the hams? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's basically done in a couple of countries in Europe. For example, in the Netherlands, which we're very associated with, all the AM broadcast stations have gone away, and now the licensing entity of the Dutch government, basically their version of the FCC, has 2 different classes of licenses, which they issue to basically anybody who wants to broadcast. On most of the frequencies, you're given 100 watts, and then on 1485, because that's the 9 kilohertz channel spacing in Europe, You get 1 watt, and of course the licenses have to be renewed each year, and the cost of a 100-watt license versus a 1-watt license is proportionally different. But hey, if you're wondering how that took off, there are tons of people who have applied for licenses. So apparently there's, at least in Europe, there's a lot of interest in hobby broadcasting.
I find it interesting that so many want to broadcast, but nobody wants to listen.
Well, that is a problem.
It's just like ham radio. Who needs a receiver?
There's somebody always listening in ham radio, Phil. The problem is nobody wants to talk.
You know, but that'd be the thing if the genie's granting you the wish. Like, do you want a receiver or a transmitter? There are some guys that would take the transmitter, and there are some guys that'll take the receiver.
Well, I find it interesting that everybody says, oh, this band's dead, there's nobody on. Yet a contest rolls around, and there's 1,500 people on the same frequency at the same time, and damn, suddenly that day the conditions were perfect.
That's why I leave 28.4 on with a squelch up at all times, because you never know when 40, or what, not 40 meters, when 10 meters is going to pop up.
You just like listening to Todd.
No, he's up 25 from that. You had to bring him up. And hello, George.
Good afternoon. Phil, not sure who else is on frequency, but I heard you guys in the car actually had FEF going through the Bluetooth for a while I was waiting for my wife to come out of a wake for someone that I don't know. And I'm glad to find you still here.
Good afternoon, George. What do you use to listen in the car?
Well, I was just using my phone, and I was on FEF, and it was coming through the Bluetooth.
Okie dokie, just curious.
First time I ever did it. How does this radio sound?
It's out pretty good.
It's my TS-1000 that I never use on HF, and it's with a Kenwood electric condenser hand microphone.
Another 30 watt and a very nice cleaning.
That's what I like more than anything. I'd rather give up a little bit off the bottom and a little off the top if it's clear and crisp. I like that.
What, are you getting a haircut?
Well, now it's barber the whole year now. My wife is cutting my hair.
Yeah, take a little off the bottom, take a little off the top. There we go. That looks good.
Yeah,
Plastic surgery?
That's what I heard in the headphones from the diode detector. I appreciate the report.
See that, Phil? He was able to make the tugboat hum from his car.
Yeah, George, were you listening when we thought you were trying to get on the air with a wayward transmitter?
I heard that, yes. I heard that, and I wasn't sure. I said, geez, it only happened one night. But I found the problem. That hasn't happened. I've been on with the ICO several times since then.
So you were falsely accused. I actually said, I don't think that's George, but everybody else. You were under the bus.
Man, oh man. Boop, boop. Holy mackerel. That happened once. Boy, that's how you get a nickname that sticks with you.
That's okay. Perry's forever stuck with mouth. What was it? Moose farts? How do you say it, Clark?
Marsfaus, which is a very recent term. I thought he was Mr. Softy. Wasn't that his?
To everybody, a belated happy.
No, I never said that.
Those two things don't go together.
Hams and hums?
Yeah, astute observation, George.
Well, if you got the hunger, you don't need the ham.
This is along the lines of don't put ham radio equipment in the car for first dates.
Exactly. And to LJO.
Well, they always say you should have a backup, so I guess somehow...
So then one day,
I was just paralyzed with shock when I heard that story.
I was going see for the first time for my cross-country drive, and I loaded up as much ham gear as I could possibly fit in the... Next did research and...
The back for like a shovel and duct tape and handcuffs.
And lime.
My first date with Lisa was 4 antennas, 3 radios, and a scanner.
I had a little Motorola HT.
Was he performing an MRI?
For some reason, she's still here, Clark, for reasons not known to me that I don't quite understand. I swear somebody in the family's paying her.
You know, that would be interesting to do like a, track the money on that and find out who.
She just might want first dibs on all of our sweet ham gear.
Yeah, I'll have to pull that. Ham men with ham gear.
All right. Sidebands.
I have 2 of them.
Yeah, but you don't have that kind of splatter like they do up on 85. Hello, calling the IMD net. Calling the IMD net.
I can make it splatter.
cheapo reactor, an inductor on the screen.
I'm really sure why people think they need to go that wide. My ears start ringing after 8 kilohertz. I don't need anything past like 4.5 in either direction. It's like, I don't know. It's like a pecker match. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that way. I don't know. But that's my 2 cents, and I'm sticking with it.
This 4 on the TS2000.
We can tell.
Yeah, yellowy.
Instead of using the fixed supply in the rig, I'll use...
I know that the hand electric condenser mic sounds better than this.
Well, hello everyone. You would think that if you got all that money and equipment, you could spend a little bit on bandwidth limiting, but I guess not.
Who is it?
What's up, Perry? Yeah, why? I don't know. Why do people feel they need to go that wide, other than just being pure obnoxious? I don't know. I don't get it. What's up, Perry? Did I say that already? KD2BRM.
It's Jeff. He's really, really strong here anyway, usually, so a lot of it, sometimes it's me, because I'm so close to him, but NBC, but Timmy it's pretty wide out there, too, and he's all the way up in Maine, so, yeah, whatever, man. I don't know. I just figure, you get all these really nice broadcast transmitters, or spend all this money, sound like, all professional, and got a professional type voice, but no bandwidth limiting.
That's not Jeff.
Oh, okay. Well, who is it?
I don't know who that is. Jeff does have bandwidth limiting. This guy who's ever on there,
250, where this transformer...
The control.
Oh, it's SOV. I'm sorry. It's Pete.
Good evening.
We're on 73. 73.
73. My
We're on
earbuds,
73.
thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let people run whatever they want. Who cares? Cacophony. It's a symphony of heterodynes and splish splash, taking a bath. Who cares? Slop bucket, dump it in. The more, the merrier. You just have to have a big signal.
This is the guy who 10 seconds earlier said we all had to be on 73.
Yeah, because I want to use my sink detector, so sue me.
Wow.
That's right. Oh, look how fat and wide I am now. Psych.
That was fun. That was a good
Energy, though. Useless energy.
Oh, I don't know. I differ on that.
Yeah, useless energy. Well, anyway. Yeah, being on the radio can be described as useless energy. W1I.
I was just thinking that.
That's right. This is a dead hobby.
Hardly.
I was wondering, what's it going to be like 50 years from now when we're all gone, you know?
Well,
Yeah, but
ask
all
Perry
old
if he's going to
people,
hang in
no one
here.
hears past 10 kilohertz, so why
Yes, sir. All right, very good.
It's dead energy. Keep it concentrated. Let's make it 6 and be piercing.
I can hear almost up to 14, so...
Hello, Blaine.
Hello, Tina.
But anything above 12 is just like, or 10 kilohertz. Well, shoot, Jesus, anything above like 7 kilohertz is piercing. But yeah, I can hear up to about 16 or 17. It doesn't mean I want to hear up there.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
Amen.
But, yeah, my hearing has been rolling off over the years. I think one year I get about 12K, the other one's about 10, and I get ringing in them too, so it's great.
See, go ahead, Clark.
Let's just
Hey,
go on
Perry,
slide
great
down.
recording on the Facebook.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you. Damn it, now I forgot what I was going to say.
I listen at 8K and everybody sounds phenomenal. I really don't need to go wider because it just gets hissy, and I don't want to hear hissy because it sounds like pissy. 8K wide is fine for my listeners.
The 8K is alright. I listen to 10 usually, but 8 is when I narrow it up to if I got to hear somebody. But I don't ever go out past 10, maybe 12 if it's a really quiet night and there's not many people in the band. But I don't. It gets, like you said, maybe with other receivers it's not so hissy, but with the Anon, it just, you go out past 12 kilohertz on the receiver and it's just like ear piercing.
Yeah, that's my CB filter as well, 8KC.
$9KC here. Most of the time at 6. There's no sense in bringing all that other garbage in around you. It makes it harder to hear what you're listening to on frequency.
Amen.
Into OJO.
Normal sounding George.
Yes, on a real radio now.
Oh, George.
Sounds marvelous.
Hello, Perry. I think I heard Jim in there. I'm not sure who the other station is. I know Phil is in there and Clark. Now I am back on a radio with tubes in it.
Nobody really knows who Ernie is, so that's okay. KD2BRM.
Brent's in there too.
We've
Jesus.
been before. KD2BRM. I will take note of that.
Yeah, Brent's in there too.
You don't really have to, George. I'm on so limited. I like to be the guy that no one recognizes.
Well, it's working, at least with me.
I thought I'd just check. But, yeah, I think we sent it to your P.
Barely on. I know you guys better than you know me, so it's all good. I'm never insulted. KD2BRM listening.
I like the beefy red meat.
Good for you.
Does your wife know?
That's it. Oh, let's just tear up phonetics for lack of anything else productive to do tonight.
It's all good. As long as my wife doesn't know what Brent means by that, we're good.
So what transmitter is that now, George? Is that the ICO?
Yeah, this is the ICO now. I just wanted to see. I was fooling around with the TS2000 this afternoon just to have a solid-state radio to use on AM. It doesn't sound like garbage like the 7610 does on AM. So, yes, now I am back on the ICO.
Excellent, excellent. W2PHL.
Thank you, and 2LJL. You sound like you're fully recuperated. No more frog in your throat.
Yeah, I'm much, much better now. That's for sure. And so you never, did you ever come down with it?
Nope. We got our results. Let's see, we were online Christmas morning, 7 o'clock, until about 8:30, 20 to 9. They gave us tickets to come back at 10:30. And we got the test, and then we didn't get the results till Monday morning. And we were both negative. And I got my booster on New Year's Eve. That was Friday. And I've just felt a little tired since then. And my left arm, right where I got the shot, is sore. But the long, short answer, no, we did not ever get sick, my wife or I.
Well, we still got a lot of winter ahead of us. It's pretty sick, right? Don't worry, you'll be fine. That's great. I'm glad to hear.
I don't know, man. Just stay away from those 5Gs, man.
Oh. Well, the person I call my best friend that I don't see much anymore now, he is my best friend of like 49 years now. Jeez. He happens to be retired from your job, Phil. Lives up in Orange County, and he's an anti-vaxxer, and he got it a couple of weeks ago, and he's still sick.
Well, it's a shame, because if you get it, you really have to be proactive to get rid of it. You just can't sit around and think it's going to go away. A friend of mine that I used to work with, too, died from it, because he kind of did that. And I hate to say it, but it's a sad story when that happens. But we got to live our lives here. And, everybody in the city has it, so if you want it, come down here. It's free for the asking.
What, the rotten apple?
Hey, we got a new mayor now.
Aren't you going to miss the
right?
blah, blah,
The old
Blasio?
boss, same as the old boss. Thanks, Pete Townsend. It's exactly the same. Nothing's going to change here.
Yeah, it's like a toilet bowl, Phil. You just kind of flush it and it goes around in circles.
Hello, Phil. I haven't talked to you in a dog's age.
You doubled with him, Brent.
Oh, hello, Phil. W1. I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Hey, Brett, how you doing? What's going on there? How things up there in God's country? Like, wife and I went up there looking around at houses in the summertime. God, that would be nice. But don't worry, we'll leave our crazy liberal ways behind us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can smell Massachusetts from here. I'm too close to the border. And my truck doesn't run right if I have to cross over, so something about that area. Yeah, there's a lot of them in town. Whatever.
Yeah, well, we had a really nice vacation, though, I'll tell you that. In the summertime, it was really beautiful to drive around up there. But, I don't know, we're sticking around here for a little while longer anyway.
I don't know how you do it. It's tough. I feel, it's no surprise people are making exoduses to the red states, but not to get into politics. But yeah, I love it. New Hampshire. I had to move back. My wife was a full-blown lib, Kennedy-loving Democrat. And after she came over the border, she said she was brainwashed.
Yeah, no, my wife has made this this slow transition. So I don't want to talk about her on the air too much because she might be getting her own ticket soon. Oh, that would be crazy. I don't know. We don't have the room for a second antenna here, but yeah, it's a similar. Sounds like a similar story. She just her eyes are wide open now, and you know, it takes a while for some people.
Well, she had her ticket.
Yeah.
Visit her ham stations, just like the bathroom sinks.
Yeah, I'll be like, here, honey, look at this nice compact antenna. It's called a dummy load. I'm just going to hook this right up there, and now you can start calling CQ. I'll be in the other room.
Cruel bastard.
It's a perfect match, honey. No tuner needed.
Hobby. I don't need her knowing how much everything's worth.
Yeah, you watch. She'll take a fondness to 3885. That'll be fun.
Or 7.2.
Oh, Lord.
There you go. Hey, Perry. Hello, Perry, if that's Perry. Perry, do you prefer Creamy G or Mr. Softy? We were talking about that earlier.
Oh, my God. I don't know which I prefer. I don't know how I prefer. I don't know, man. I guess Mr. Softy. I'd rather have Mr. Softy.
The story, but poured together for fun with Hum.
Clark, my wife operates on 7200 unidentified, 200 kilohertz high.
Oh man, she's a renegade. I can just see her like in that black leather outfit with like the side arms and stuff, like a sidearm in one hand and a D104 in the other. She's a 7200 gangsta. That is so cool.
She actually goes by...
Missed that 7200. The guy up in Canada, he was fabulous. He was my favorite.
You haven't heard the Prime Minister? That's funny.
What would happen if 7200 became like a new AM watering hole?
Only on the bowl.
Became? I think it is, no?
Oh, that would be entertaining. These signals on 7200.
I didn't realize they used AM on 7200. I thought that was all slot bucket.
I thought so too.
It is, but it don't really matter.
Yeah, but that might be fun to get the whole gang up on 7200, and I see you're crazy, and I raise you to insane.
Yeah.
That'd be like whacking the beehive.
Yeah, it's like I see you're crazy and up you 8 kilohertz.
God, it's like the black hole of radio in 7.2.
They would be like 40
needs a
kilohertz,
landfill,
you know, bandwidth if they were operating like Channel 6. So I'm not really sure if you want to wish that on anyone within earshot of said frequency.
The MP into the linear and playing around with a link up, the new tuner, and I can understand the entertainment though, Clark.
My. Victor, America 3, Golf, Foxtrot, Yankee, Capital City, Canada, top of the world.
All righty. Yeah.
Sounds like a party.
2.8 kilohertz of a mess.
To DTS, Brent, and break in.
Yeah, boy, Brett has got, man, I went through his 400 pictures of homebrew work. I mean, good Lord, that guy is amazing.
He's a machine.
I don't think there's anything he hasn't built, and it's beautiful work.
Yeah, he is. He's really good with that stuff. Very methodical.
Kind of inspiring. Keith's got all the parts, and I'm thinking about taking a turn to the left for Hollow State. It would be fun. I don't need a big powerhouse, but something like 813s or 811s. I don't know. It would be, all the parts are over at Keith's, and I just have to make a commitment to do it.
Man, I gotta get my truck fixed. They're calling for snow at the midweek and the end of the week. I guess winter's here.
Oh, don't say that, Perry. I gotta get that engine back.
Dude, we're supposed to get, I guess, 2 to 4 inches tonight and tomorrow morning, and this other guy I'm watching now, by the end of the week, we're supposed to get 4 to 8 on Friday. And that's down here, so, yeah, it looks like you guys could be getting some snow up there, too, I would imagine.
Wait a minute. So the forecast here is like 20% chance of almost nothing. So I think that the snow thing is going to be more of a mid-Atlantic storm, not a northeast.
Yeah, tomorrow, not Friday.
Yeah, I'm going to throw a bath towel over my Johnson matchbox at the base of the tower and not worry about it.
Yeah, you got your... I forgot you had that outside.
Matchbox at base of tower.
Yeah, I have my matchbox is on wall.
I'm betting on my matchbox at the base of the tower.
Well, you started out with just throwing your towel over your Johnson and snow and everything. I wasn't sure where it was going to go.
Oh, yeah, no. The Johnson in my pants will be fine. But, yeah, the one out by the tower, I will throw a bath towel over to protect it from Perry's potential Philadelphia 2 to 4 inches of wrath.
That's quite a message.
Plastic tarp? No.
If Perry's wrath is 2 to 4 inches, again, this is why his porn name is Mr. Softy.
Ow! With rainbow sprinkles, and I'm back quiet.
The 1450 net. Keep.
Whoa, okay then.
Alright, they upped it to 1 to 3, Perry, so maybe that makes you a little bit more respectable on Long Island. 1 to 3.
Oh, well, like this first storm is just they're gonna get, down at the shore, my dad's gonna get more than me. Down at the shore is gonna get like 4 to 8, I guess, or up to 12 inches in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, it's definitely a mid-Atlantic storm, but I guess they're saying on the 7th, on Friday, we could get more, and that's the one that's like more New England, Northeast, kind of deal there, so we'll see. But you know how it usually happens, especially these last few years. We're not going to get anything.
DC gets how much when?
I'm looking at it right now. They're saying 2 to 4 for DC. Looks like 2 to 4, in some places 4 to 8.
Well, I know they're calling for snow tomorrow. But it's 65 degrees here right now.
Right, but it's going to be like 20 when you wake up tomorrow. Winter storm warning right now for Washington, D.C. Total snow accumulations 3 to 7 inches from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. Tomorrow morning. 3 to 7 inches winter storm warning for Washington, D.C.
All right, who's putting their Johnson out in the snow with a bath towel?
Oh, what's up, Rob?
Hey, Rob. Good evening. Happy New Year to everyone we haven't spoken to. So what's this about a Johnson out there in the snow there with a bath towel?
I don't know what's more concerning, the fact that you want to know, or that is what got you.
That's me, Rob. I'm trying not to key on anyone. Not even sure if I have the ability to do so, but it's Ernie, KD2, BRM.
talk to you again there. And Brian, hello, and anybody else I haven't spoken to in a while there. So, yeah, I don't know what Samar's going to do. I don't know. I don't worry about it. Every day's Saturday.
I took my
Well, this is our first AM contact, Rob, so,
it's not going to snow.
Hallelujah. How you doing? How was your New Year's?
Good. I left my Johnson inside for the New Year's. I didn't let the ball drop down on it.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yeah, it's definitely 60 degrees here right now.
Yeah, it's 50 here.
61.
47.
41 in Yorktown.
So it's dropping, man. It's coming. If you guys are in the 40s and we're in the 60s, yeah, it's a moving.
We're not supposed to get any up here. It's supposed to be all
Derry
down in the city, Long Island, and to the west.
I like that derriere there, Brent.
What?
Yeah, it's all good up here. You know, where men are men, women are men, and sheep look good.
They cost less than a divorce.
Yeah, we got plenty of prairie women up here. Yeehaw. Just a cliff and a boots.
Yep, where their idea of foreplay is, hey sis, you ready?
Hold my beer.
Where's your pop, Perry? Where's Frank? Is he out here? What's he doing? He's making a Bloody Mary, a martini? What's going on at the SDR shack?
Oh, I don't know. He's, I heard him on Fusion earlier, but he's probably listening, kicking his feet up. I'm sure he's not far.
He's sandbagging on 3873. Hello, Pop, if you're listening.
Yeah, looking at the... Man, they don't know nothing. We'll find out when we get there. Because some places are saying here is supposed to get 6 to 10 inches, but all these weather models, stick it into a computer and see what it says.
Wait, Perry, we're supposed to get 6 to 10 inches?
Where are you at again? You're in Maryland, right?
Yeah, I'm right on the Delaware border on 95.
Yeah, you're probably in the 6 to 10 inch range. I don't know. Maybe less. There's also DC saying 3 to 7 with a winter storm warning. So, further south than me is going to get it worse.
Well, I'll be. I didn't know. You're up in Chester, right?
Yeah.
You guys can keep all that snow down there. We don't need it up here.
Yeah, I'm down in Chester. Oh, but be careful what you wish for, Steve, or don't wish for. I don't know what's happening at the end of the week. That's kind of far away, but yeah, tomorrow we might get an inch or two. I'm not expecting much here, but points south and east are going to get it worse.
Good Lord, Steve, I've never seen the needle on an SDR wrap around the stop pen.
Yeah, wonder how that happened.
He's a radio.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's that lake effect.
Just the magic of low power.
Yeah, 3 to 6, Barry, here.
Yeah, it's
Mirror Lake snow effect on your RF signal.
Yeah, it's all totals are going up, man.
Magic Mirror Lake
falls
antenna.
over the bloody water.
That's what I call it, because it's not much of an antenna.
Yeah, except you got the perfect reflector.
Hey, I was just out front, and Frosty the Snowman was smiling. I said, "What's you so happy about it?" He goes, "The snowblower's coming."
Steve, you bending needles again? K1 KBW.
Hey, how you doing? And I heard Don in there, W9 BHI, calling in as well.
Yes, Whiskey 9, Bravo, Hotel India. Boy, everybody's hanging on in here.
Hello, Don. Nice signal in New Hampshire.
I'm going to make me another Kraken rum and Pepsi. Hello to Frank and others out there. KD2 BRM.
Yeah, howdy. Good evening.
W1IA probably due for
Spring
that.
like here, though, at 59 degrees, so there's got to be a big change coming, I guess.
Yep, how you doing there, Ernie? Doing very well up here. WA1 QIX, I'm just going to write back to a girl who wrote me on Match.com.
Yeah.
And I had put in it, I like to play pickleball. She wrote back and says, "Oh, I like to play pickleball too." So we're arranging a pickleball date.
What's his name?
You're ready. Maybe you can play hide the pickle.
Oh.
Check under the hood, man. It's like a box of chocolates, you know, the 52 genders.
Yeah, but I guess pickleball does sound like a game like that. It's as if we're gonna find out if it's a male or a female.
This one's definitely a female. She has 5 children.
Ouch.
Cowbell.
Well, I don't know. They've got feminine care for transgenders now in the UK. They might have figured it out.
The insanity of it all is really true, though. I mean, good God, did he have to fill out a disclaimer for a date?
Oh, Buttigieg took a pregnancy leave, didn't he?
Yeah, Buddha plug.
Junk scanner.
Hey, Perry, did you watch that Eagles game?
I watched parts of it. Yeah, it got pretty hairy.
Oh, my God. Interception in the end zone at the end of the game. It was a great game, man. Had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, because if they would have got that touchdown, they'd have won.
Yep.
So, Brent.
Yes, Bob.
Who had the baby, him or his boyfriend?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going there. It's too easy.
How'd the breastfeeding work out?
I think I'm gonna order that transmission for my truck tomorrow.
Good luck.
Yeah, you got any overdrive units for a 96 Ram 1500 down there? My overdrive unit on my truck grenaded, and the transfer case came flying off the transmission.
Holy cow, Perry, what the hell?
Particulars, Perry, I'm good on QRZ, and I'll look around for you, but I ordered a 4L80E for a 13 Savannah 3500 van. Took 3 weeks to come in.
Yeah, it's a common thing on the Dodge pickups that generation, from like 95 or whatever year they started with that, style. I guess the overdrive unit locks up, like going down the road. I bought the truck. This has already happened. It didn't happen to me, but it had already happened. And this is the second time that it happened to the guy that I bought it off of. So, yeah. If I could just find the overdrive unit, I could just replace that, because that unbolts from the trans, and it bolts right. I mean, it's real simple, but I might have to find an entire transmission, because a lot of the yards don't like to separate it.
I did the upgrade.
I got a favor
on the
I can
246 transfer case in the Sylvie Sun Gear pump plate.
All right, Brian.
Seen those knock a hole through the transfer case, Perry?
Nah, I haven't. I've seen a lot of crap. I haven't seen that though. Brian, yeah, I'll shoot you an email, man. I'll give you the info when I get to work tomorrow. I'll shoot you an email from the shop. Yeah, man. I've seen a lot of stuff, but a lot of it's caused usually by operator error. Sometimes it's not, but usually things like that are operator error. When I say that, it goes back to lack of maintenance.
Yeah, the 246 transfers 99 to 07 Sylvies. I'm talking older stuff. The Sun Gear pump plate has got dogs in it. It's just a flat plate, and it rattles against the cast case. And if you don't put the upgrade in it, mine was within 100 thousandths of knocking a hole through the case. And I put the upgrade in it. When I was servicing the front diff, I had to put new seals and bearings in it. But my wife helped me push the back up underneath the truck.
There's one transmission, I can't remember, but you was mentioning that kind of made me think of it, that something comes loose, like these pegs or these shafts or something come loose inside the transmission and start to work their way out. And then all of a sudden they'll like work their way out of the body of the transmission and bust themselves through the case.
Ew.
Can't remember, but anyway, yeah, enough about work talk. I got to go back to that place tomorrow.
Yeah,
sounds like a
I'll
Nissan.
catch everybody later. 73 W1WR, exit stage left.
Come on, Rob. You got to fire up the amplifiers.
Yeah, January is supposedly to be coming there, so yeah, you're first on the list if I let it go.
I just busted your balls, man. You know I love you. All right, buddy. Good hearing you, man. Good signal. We'll catch you later.
What was that, Brett?
You're going to 7.2 to hang out. I know you.
No, I don't go there. What was that guy was saying? You're not vaxxed, don't come here. I heard him a couple of months ago. No, we were talking about the Mercury 3 amplifier.
Oh, I know that. I'm just teasing you. Take care, man.
Okay, what?
So long, Rob. Nice hearing you on amplitude modulation. See you later. W2PHR.
Right, tell the other half, everybody in the household said to say hello there. And we're waiting for the recipe. We haven't got the recipe yet, Phil.
Oh, Jen said she sent it to you guys. We'll have to double check this. She wrote it. It was landlocked in her brain, so she had to write it down. She did that the other day, and she said she sent it. So, all right, I'll get on that.
I think they had trouble finding the pollywog legs.
All right, maybe we'll have to check the canned spam thing there. Perry, I should let Brett into what's called the Horde House there. See what he thinks about the streaming of that.
Brent's not in there?
No, I
what?
asked him about it, so I'll let him know. Okay, I got to get going. I got to go across state lines. I'll catch you a little later. W1WR 7371.
Yeah.
Get the duct tape.
Yeah, he's got to go across state lines. He's picking up some cases of beer. All right, Rob. No, Brent. He's talking about he's got a group on Facebook. It used to be called Alf's House, and now it's the War Room or something. Anyway, Rob does a bunch of live streaming and stuff in there, and on here, and on his sideband stuff, and he does. I think his streams are better than mine, but he got all types of stuff on there. He'll probably add you, or you can like join. I don't know how, if he's got it private or not, but you can find it, or I'll send it to you.
That sounds like fun, Perry. Yeah. I was listening to your recording the other day, yesterday, and that was awesome. You know, it really is fun to listen to that stuff.
This is Wrecking Ball.
Yeah. Eastbound and down.
Pour him in there, Perry. All right, let me get going. The car's all warmed up. I'm ready to leave.
W2 Good Old Radio.
Hello, Gordon.
Hello.
Hey, Gordon, K1 KBW.
Oh, Gordon. Goodbye, Gordon. W1WR.
Did I forget deodorant or something?
Ted.
83 AM.
Hello, Ted, Bill. Everybody's coming in. Hello to all.
Okay, have a good night.
Goodbye, Rob. W1WR, KD2BRM. Good to you, buddy.
Keep baffling Washington. How are you?
Yeah, okay. Can't complain. Doesn't do any good anyway.
I'm going to change your moniker to Keep Baffling My S Meter.
Uh-oh. Steve's been breaking them. What am I doing, bending them?
Yeah, I didn't know when a non-virtual meter could bend, but you broke it.
Oh, shoot. I owe you a meter.
How do you fix a virtual meter? Is it code?
Virtual signal.
What about the signal?
Not breaking any meters over here, that's for sure.
He's got a great station there. How are you and your son doing? Did you have a good New Year?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't complain. I hope this year's better than the last one, but, yeah, it was pretty good. And, he's off tonight. He'll probably be on the radio a little bit later.
No, did you see him for the...
Hanukkah.
sent me a vacuum variable. I should have it tomorrow. It's a 1,000 puff Comet. Gonna go on my 160 rig.
Hey, Brent.
How does my Anon and linear amplifier sound to your seasoned ears?
That sounds good. About 40 over. Nothing wrong with that signal.
What kind of amplificator are you on tonight?
I think that was a triple, but I think I heard everybody. I like it when there's that 20 hertz difference between everybody, and it sounds like everyone's going.
You're on the amplifier tonight?
Yes, I'm on a Anon 7000, putting out 30 watts carrier, modulating to about 90 or 100 into an ACOM 2100 with a 4-1000, modulating up to about legal limit, and that's it.
You'll be styling tonight, Gordon.
Am I styling? Do I have a mojo and vibe to the audio processes?
Yes, you do. I'll be back. I'm going to tune up the flat top.
That ain't no amplifier.
Sounds fun here.
Remember what the first line in the song is?
It's a tramplifier.
Come on, flat top.
Come on, flat top.
With millions of dollars in the bank, and I was taking all their songs so seriously, like it was the Bible.
Yeah, Gordon, you're 1 kc down frequency. Not that it's a big deal.
It's not, but you know why that happens? Because I've got this Hercules MIDI controller, and the VFO is flat on the desk, and every time I unlock so I can change parameters, my hand just rubs by it, so it's too sensitive.
Good evening.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, whoever said that.
This is like too complicated for him.
Hello, radio. Hello, Steve. Hello, radio.
Whoever can hear me, that is. Besides you, Steve. WB28 Straight Cat.
Yeah, hi, George.
Hey, you're about 20 over up here, George. WA1QIX.
You know what they say, if you rub your knob more than twice.
Oh, that QIX station is so piss weak. Can somebody relay for him?
Right.
Hello, radio.
Hello, Daryl.
Amplifier on that E-rig.
Why they're piss weak. Just admit it.
I have an idea, guys. I'll blow you away with my technological idea.
SDRs, I'll see if I can hear them.
Everybody's always like got an excuse. They're not running their proper thing. There's a impedance mismatch. Just admit it.
And what does this microphone do?
All right, what? Well, let's just all key up at one time. You guys just stand by for a second and let George talk. You guys, like, you know, not running much power, so give him a second to talk.
Why don't everybody talk at once?
All right, never mind. Have fun, guys.
It's up on 3875. He's off frequency.
Man.
This is the world's biggest double.
I know, if people just take a second to, like, before they key up or unkey after they key, it would avoid all of this.
Technological invention. Does anybody want to hear it?
Yeah, get a noise level so you can hear people.
No, I got an idea. We all go on this website, and we log in, and it doesn't let anybody talk over anybody else. It's all, like, coordinated. And
Hello, radio. Yeah.
I think he's on AM. That's why he sounds different.
W301. Yeah.
But I don't. Maybe just the AM carrier. I don't see any modulation coming out of it. Now, when you put down the AM, you can hear breathing in the background. Quite tuned. Yeah, I can see the signal strength moving up and
Hello, radio. W3 MMR. Yeah. Yeah, carrier. Big old carrier.
Come on, we're looking for them stations down south. Come on.
Video.
Well, and hello to Mike, if that's Mike OV out there.
That's a good name. That's a good name. Whoever suggested that. Pickleballer. I'm going to use that one. That's a very good CB handle. You got the pickleballer up here in central New Hampshire. Come on.
That'll draw all the attention of the truck stops to you in a heartbeat.
Did you start all this, Perry?
I'm working on a Class G rig.
Mr. Click-Clack. You start saying pickleball guy, you're going to be getting the brake lights tapped twice in the truck stop.
Oh, yeah, I don't want that. That's true.
Yep. You'll be the superstar of all the truck stops.
Hey, Steve?
Yeah.
You could take over the handle of Seasick Martian.
3873, and then I got down.
Hey, we're looking for that. We're looking for Daryl down there in Jersey. Come on back there, Daryl.
I don't know. Somebody got a hammer on me. Steve, somebody got a hammer on me. Come on.
73, and I got down.
Somebody got a big hammer on me.
You guys are unwrapped tonight.
We want to talk to that Daryl running that Gates transmitter. Come on, he's got that Gates floating away.
He's got that refrigerator on. My 3873 Pissweek station, and I got down.
Somebody got the gate closed. I can't open the gate.
Who dropped that hammer on the wrecking ball?
Daryl, I got down.
I'm trying to get down, but the gate got me closed.
Yeah. You're walking the dog up and down my antenna, man. You're leaving a pile at the bottom of it, and you're increasing my ground conductivity, man. You are so loud here that things are starting to melt in the receiver. The estimator went around 14 times, and more, I'm going to send you the bill. You are so strong.
Smoking. Motormouth Mall in the northeast corner.
Perry started all of this.
Don't look at me.
Pickleballer. Yeah, hi, Daryl. W1IA.
I didn't start nothing.
Hello, hey, Ben. How about your windbreaker? Steve started all of this.
How about your windbreaker? You got a copy on your windbreaker?
Q75 meters. From Whiskey 2 Golf Oscar Radio, W2GOR, Westchester, New York, listening.
Yeah, you're not into all the craziness, man. My God, W3MMR.
How copy? Whiskey Bravo 3 Echo Tango November. WB3TN.
All right, WB3TN, thanks for the call. There was another station in there. Stand by 1 second, David. Go ahead, the other station, W2GOR here.
Oklahoma.
Come on back when you get a signal.
You guys hear that guy in Oklahoma, Steve?
I heard him. No, I'm just teasing him. I hear Oklahoma coming in.
Oklahoma? Coming in from the BAM.
Yeah, who's the Oklahoma station?
That'd be the Flagellizer.
Chris Perry's probably recording this and they're going to put it up on Facebook.
No, it's streaming onto Facebook.
Know who the Oklahoma station is?
Flagellizer.
No, it's streaming live.
I like the part about the S-meter going around 14 times.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
And I got down.
Jesus.
Oh man.
See, all my CB friends are gonna be watching this, and you're like, man, those guys are just as crazy as we are.
How many pounds am I throwing up your way, yo?
I didn't know Motor Outlaw was on 38.72.
Yeah, you're giving me 25 pounds. We just asked that. 25 pounds up here in central New Hampshire.
Is that Cow Hampshire?
Wall to wall and treetop tall, come out.
Oh, that'd be Nude Hampster.
You walking up and down my antenna, son?
I can't do it.
Hey, we're looking for that bounty hunter. Come on, we're looking for that bounty hunter. You got the pickleballer here, bounty hunter. You out there listening on the channel?
Yeah, I'd be here, K-Man.
Oh, man, bounty hunter, you're giving me 45 pounds over here. Man, I may have to send you a bill for a new meter.
Hey, pickleball.
Yeah, you got the pickleballer here.
I'm far from all rest.
Pickleball on that 14 tons.
Only 14? Only 14 times? Now, come on. I must be really weak, man. I got to crank up the wick on this thing.
Wrecking ball out.
Hey, pickleball, what you doing?
And 1XGW.
Hello, Charlie.
Charlie, here's the big hammer.
Harry.
That's the big hammer.
Yeah, did your string get you all strung out or what?
Yeah, man. You know how it is.
How'd you make out?
I got it all strung up. It's all done. It took me three more tries to get it done. But he's talking. I restrung the dial cord on my SX99 this morning, and I was thinking about jumping off a cliff.
Did the picture help any?
Yeah, it helped. Thanks, man. And I looked. I had the the routing in the manual as well, but it was just because I didn't want to take the faceplate off of the radio, or the receiver, so it just made it a lot harder.
Yeah, it looks like it's a pain in the ass. Luckily, mine are good. Yeah, I heard you saying that as I went out the door to go upstairs. You came in right as I went out, and I got up the stairs. I says, oh, maybe a picture would help. So I came back down here and snapped a couple of pictures and sent them to you. Anyway, carry on, guys. See who you can pick up out there in DX land.
Hey, did the picture include a naked woman tying knots in coax, Charlie?
No, she was tying knots in dial cords.
Tying knots in a pickleball.
Yeah, you got a Long Johnson. You can tie knots in it.
You know what?
Sling it over your shoulder.
You know what? I was on eBay today looking for 100C capacitor, multi-layer ceramic capacitors. And it brought up a picture of a naked girl on eBay. Somebody was selling a picture of this naked girl. I didn't think you could do that on there. Not that I bought it or anything, but it was like, huh? What does this have to do with 100C capacitors? But there was some combination that eBay picked up. That was the weirdest thing.
It was a weird algorithm search engine they're using.
Sure that was eBay and not Craigslist or something?
No, it was definitely eBay. It was no doubt.
It's probably an example of who would wear a C cup. King Zachary.
Any luck tracking down parts yet? Steve, if you do find the bypasses we need, I will kindly delve into that with you.
Yeah, I found it again. Here it is. I just put in, I put in 100, ATC 100C, and I'm searching. Here it comes up. C100, 8x12, mature, Ukrainian model, nude, showing her beauty, blah, blah, blah. There it is. $12 for this picture.
There's
I put it in as different names in it, or different parts, and it doesn't come up here.
Put in ATC 100C, all one line. Run it all together. ATC 100C. Do that in the search, and it'll come up.
Right, say that again. ATC what?
ATC 44DD.
Yo, oh my God, she's not European.
On eBay.
Oh man, shave that thing.
Say that one more. What was the number?
If I rebroadcast you guys on Channel 14, any objections?
I don't care.
Everybody's looking at dirty pictures on eBay
You
now.
know that what we need and so forth and so on. So hopefully we can track those damn things down.
Yep, I'm looking for them.
Been buying these pencil weights, fishing weights, and there's a guy on eBay, and I'm using them for the antenna launcher, and there's a guy on eBay that's selling them, and he's got his woman, whoever she is, like holding them like with her cans, like right there. Picture, it's like, oh my God.
Well, what's this guy selling there, Bob?
Fishing weights.
Oh, fishing weights. WA1QIX for ID, by the way.
You mean sinkers?
Yeah, exactly.
AV3AL Friday.
3 ounces is best if you're launching the antennas with a fishing rod.
Actually, I'm working on one of those air launcher things. With the air, the propulsion device. I've been streamlining this, and I think I'm down to doing it with 3/4-inch PVC as the rifle portion of it, and I'm down to these 2-ounce pencil sinkers or pencil weights that they use, and I'm pretty close to finishing this project.
Oh, sounds like fun. 2 ounces, though, might not sink through the trees so good.
Yep, I make them heavier than that, Bob.
I gotta try it. I got 1 ounce, I got 2 ounces. I bought like 10 of each. I mean, it was like dirt money. But the problem is I don't want to put the lead sinker by itself. I want to put it in something like PVC or I don't know, or piping or whatever, and that's the thing that I've been searching for, because if I shoot this thing out and it goes above the tree and it comes down and some asshole decides they're going to pull up on the lawn or pull out of their driveway or something, it's going to go right through the windshield, and I don't want that kind of publicity.
Just drop the pressure on it. Experiment with 30 psi and go up until you get the height you need. It's not that hard.
What about designing it around a tennis ball and lead shot inside the tennis ball?
That's what mine is. What Ted just said there is a good idea. Mine is a tennis ball launcher. Tennis balls are great. They're soft. You put some weights inside, like Ted just said. Looks beautifully.
Yeah, right.
You guys are brutal.
The tennis ball thing, and I was kind of more about engineering and how to make this thing more efficient.
A lot of latency.
Let's see if I got it. The SR21 pipe is non-standard, but it's the right ID for a tennis ball. My AK Bioka had that diameter, and the barrel over the years stretched. And I had to modify that launcher for a different barrel type and slid the 3/4-inch capped ends. The caps are about 1 inch in diameter, and then I put a little felt around to make gas chokes on them, and that worked perfectly. But Ted's right, you need more than 2 ounces. I just threw a couple of nuts, steel washers and nuts I had in the junk drawer in them, till I got them heavy enough.
Oh, with tennis balls.
The problem that I have with the tennis ball is, I used to use a diamond jig, a fishing lure, like that was like 2 or 3 ounces, and I used to use fishing line and a surf casting rod and do it, but the tennis ball is going to be kind of problematic if I don't get it all the way over the tree. It's going to get stuck because it's large.
All right. Oh, I have to make sure I'm not doubling. I've been using tennis balls for years, and they're pretty good. I mean, I put a lot of sand. I use sand or pennies or something like that. They're fairly heavy, and it's a rare day that the tennis ball doesn't come all the way down. I haven't. I think I've lost like 1 or 2 in the whole time because they're so heavy. They come down. They just do, because they're quite heavy and they're soft. I've hit stuff with them. Believe me, I've had this thing for years. I've literally hit my car windshield with them. It just glanced off because they have give. I would definitely go that way. They really work well. And tennis balls are ubiquitous. You can get them everywhere. You can make your own. Make your own things. You don't have PVC involved, and it's not hard. That's the real advantage of it. It's not hard. I mean, if somebody got hit with this thing, if a human being got hit with a tennis ball, it probably wouldn't cause a lot of damage to them. Whereas if it got hit with a piece of hard PVC or a weight or something like that, you could inflict some serious damage against somebody.
Yeah, right. So I got it. Maybe I gotta rethink this. I'm still gonna go down the road of what I've been doing, but maybe what I do is I get those mini tennis balls that they sell. Those little things that are I don't know what are they like an inch and a half around or something for puppies, and maybe I go that route.
One other big advantage, make sure I got it. W1IA. If you can pick up a paintball CO2 canister and put the Schrader valves on it, you can charge it up in the field instead of having to carry around a portable, NiCad style pump, which is a pain in the ass. You can also do a tank pre-charged with air, but that's kind of heavy.
Yeah, I got one of these USB charged lithium-ion pumps, so I could just do that in the yard. But if I don't use that, I'm just going to use the 12-volt tire pump from the car.
Yeah, mine uses a Rainbird sprinkler valve. I built a couple of them, and I'm in the woods. I don't have that problem with people, so, but if I had to live in an urban compact, I would definitely reconsider. But I'm always trying to go over the top. The one thing about the slugs made of PVC, you can be real accurate with them if you're trying to thread the needle. So, and tennis ball launcher work good, but if you hit the tree, bounce off and tangle up the line. So, and that's true of any of them. But for the most part, you're trying to go over the top, so I don't care if accuracy isn't quite as important, but the wind catches the damn line and it'll drift off, so I wait for a really calm day to do it.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, anyway, I don't want to derail the conversation, but it's a project that it's been on the chopping block for the last 3 months, and it's finally getting there. And it turns out the local True Value hardware store had a better assortment of 90s and elbows and sleeves for fitting Schedule 40 PVC together versus Lowe's or Home Depot. And True Value is more local. So anyway.
Well, just consider if you do use PVC and it's not tight enough, you'll get a lot of blow-by. Making a gas check out of felt with a sticky back works really good. Contact cement with a little felt, and you can sand it till it fits right, and then you make that sucker go up 200 feet plus.
You do got to be careful. Let me make sure I got it.
Build one with PVC torpedoes. Get yourself some fluorescent pink spray paint and paint them. Makes it a lot easier to find them.
Amen to that.
Fishing line.
Yeah,
I got cop tape, that yellow tape that I'm gonna put on the side. That's got the courses line. So I got like the vivid yellow cop tape on that. And, somebody else said something in there, and I forgot. I wanted to reply, but anyway, it don't matter.
And one DCG, because it don't matter.
Oh yeah, the felt thing. My issue with the felt thing is the question of which has more loss, the drag of the felt versus the blow-by of the air.
Oh, the blow-by sucks. You'll never get it out of the barrel. It'll overcome that easily. So definitely do a gas check if it's not tight enough.
Yeah, okay. I remember Dirk was talking about this about 2 months ago. Dirk's crappy yellowy antennae. He was talking about that, and he said he's got like a bunch of like flannel shirts that he has cut up, and he wraps those around the projectile when it goes out.
Yeah, it's clunky. Felt contact cement, be done with it. It works. Never have to worry about anything other than the slug going down the barrel. And a tight fit, it's enough so it moves with a little bit of back pressure when you ram it down the barrel. So I've had great success with that. And I use a surf casting pole, the surf casting stake in the ground, open the bail, and stand in front of it, of course, so you don't have any tangles, and then off you go. Punk.
Yeah, wrapping shirt material around projectiles and trying to do it that way is starting to approach the technological level of a North Korean missile launch.
Yeah, I got lucky with mine. I just used the PVC projectiles, like 3/4 inch caps, or whatever size I use. I could get it for you if you're interested. But I painted them pink, just like what's his name said. But you got to be careful. Like, I live in the city, dude, and if you don't, I have my bail is my fishing reel is connected right to the body of my launcher. And like, I forgot to set the bail or flip the bail one time, and that projectile come flying out, and boop, there it goes right across the neighborhood. I heard it land on somebody's roof. I heard it hit the roof, and I was able to retrieve it because it was bright pink. But yeah, I just got to be careful. And they're weighted too, man. But dude, my antenna launcher, 30 pounds, will shoot up 100 and 150 feet with no problem. And I'm using that braided fishing line. It's tough as all hell, and it drops right down through the tree and doesn't get snagged or nothing. I was going to use tennis balls, but I was afraid of the same thing that you were thinking, Bob, that they would get caught up.
Yeah, Kevlar fishing line's the best. And pine trees suck. They're sticky, so if you don't have enough weight, it won't drop to the ground if you're going over pines. Hardwood, no problem.
Yeah, I did about the same thing Perry did, but I think my barrel's 3.5 foot long and 10 psi. I actually had to sand down the end cap on the torpedo to get it to fit in my barrel, and it's so snug. 10 psi, and I'm up over a 150-foot tree with without any issue at all.
Oh, that works.
I'm using one of those sprinkler valves, an electronic sprinkler valve. See, I bought this launcher, well, at a ham fest, and I mean, as soon as I bought it, I dropped it and broke it. So I had to rebuild the whole thing, and I just basically ended up using that electronic sprinkler valve out of the thing. But I have that hooked up to, I hose clamp a 12-volt battery from a drill and hose clamp that, hook the leads up to the battery, and then I have a little momentary push button switch, man. As soon as I hit that, press it like a trigger, boom, the thing goes shooting out.
Yeah, Rainbird makes them. They're great. Yes, Charlie.
Yeah, QFX did a YouTube video, and he's using one of the split hole valve gizmos.
And it picks the tire up so the beat can catch.
That'd be overkill, Charlie.
I have one of those. I'm going to take the funnel off and screw a piece of 2-inch pipe in there. And I got those, what are they, handballs, the blue ones? They're about 2 inches in diameter. I got a couple of those. I'm going to see if I can shoot them over to the street on the other side of the river.
Wait a second, he's got blue balls in his hand?
Yeah, it's got blue balls.
You got the blue ball, man. Kimmy. W1A, almost 6 o'clock.
W2ENY, and you're not.
AB3AL.
WA1 QIX here.
W3MR.
And 1XCW. So you think 120 PSI is a little too much, Brent?
Yeah, if you want to go into the next county, Charlie.
It's over the top, excuse the pun.
Yeah. Like, 30 pounds is a lot. Man, I'll tell you, 30 PSI is... I shot the cedar tree that is about 80 feet that my antenna's in, and it cleared that with no issue. I think it would have kept on going if I didn't stop it. I grabbed like the string, as it's going, because it kept on going. I grabbed the string and it, stopped it against the body of the of the launcher.
Yeah, that's a good point. Wear leather gloves if you're going to slow down the launch. If you see it going over the crest, you don't want it to go much further. You'll cover 2 trees in my neighborhood. What was I going to say? Oh, Perry, by the way, the double L is kicking butt and taking names. It loads up beautifully on 160. I'm shy on C, though. I got to add some capacitance to it. So, I was on 40 with it. Oh, my God, the Q is so low.
There you go. Good. Glad it's working for you, man. I sent you some pictures of mine, Brent, because you were the only person I had messenger close by on my launcher. No, that's a good point, man. Because you don't want that thing to go further than I guess you really intended to. Cause especially here in my neighborhood, it'll be over the next house. It'll be 4 yards over if I don't stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got, 30-pound test fishing line. The Kevlar I like, but if it goes over the pines and you pull on it, it gets sticky. So, from the pine pitch, and it depends on what you're doing, but the nylon it doesn't get caught up on the open face reel. I can't use a closed face reel, by the way. It causes too much twist in the line.
Well, one of the little, I'd call them, they're not like little kids ones, but you know what I'm talking, like the ones where you just have to, like the push button. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, those are closed-faced reels. You need an open bail. I use a Surfcast. I had a Surfcast rod with a really nice open face with a bail on it, and I have to, replace the line. It gets dry rotted over the years, but the Kevlar, the original AK Bioka one had a retrieval spool on it, and it was sweet, but they stopped making them, and I couldn't find them. They were for archery, fishing, and you basically have this plastic spool, and when you shoot and fish, well, they adapted it for these launchers. It slid right over the barrel with a collar. And I'm kind of bummed because I couldn't get it anymore.
Yeah, about that. I I got like the highest pound test I could from Walmart. The fishing reel is off like a 30-year-old, 40-year-old rod I found at my mom's in the basement. You know, because I was just like, I need to build an antenna launcher. My antenna fell down, and I want to get it up higher. You know, and I want to rebuild this antenna launcher. So, yeah, it's fun. It took a while to get it honed in, so it's reliable and accurate. You know, and does the same thing every single time. I don't have to like, you know, keep filling it back up, you know, because it doesn't go high enough. I finally got things honed in to where I had enough practice with it, I guess I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah, I just got a picture on Instagram. Cool. Yep, you won't lose those.
Nah, I filled them up with a bunch of nuts and bolts. So that's how I weighted them.
I did the same damn thing. That's not scientific. You know it when you got the right amount of weight in it. And if you don't, it won't go anywhere.
Only thing I would change is like the air tank, like the air chamber. I would like to make it shorter and fatter instead of really long. It's like 2-inch PVC. It's like as long as the barrel of the gun itself, but I guess it helps with stability.
It actually does, and short of the weight problem, you got to have a lot of volume. I don't know. There's been so many of those things built over the years. Everybody's got their take on it. I've seen them with a single lever ball valve on them. That's kind of clunky. I mean, you can't really hold it and operate the gate valve and get any accuracy, but those damn things are 4 feet long.
I know Rob, N1ALF, has a really nice, hold on a second here. He's got a really nice antenna launcher. He's got one of those, like, kits that you can buy. I forget who makes them. I don't know. Whoever makes them, they're really nice, but they're a good chunk of coin. They got like the bail, like that around the outside of the barrel. You know which one I'm talking about? And it shoots tennis balls.
Yep.
Clark, have you used it?
I haven't used it myself, but I mean, I've been there when Rob's operated it like a zillion times.
Then does it work pretty well?
Yeah, it works great.
How about that? Yeah, see, I could like justify it if I was shooting antennas up in the air all the time, but maybe when I move and I have more trees, I'd love to experiment with antennas, but don't really have the room.
See, that's the thing about those, is that you really need them badly for getting antennas up, and then, now what?
Yeah, I use mine all the time. I got maintenance to do. Oh, God.
Well, you have, I think, you're running like a coax fed antenna with hard line before. You're running big gauge open wire line and array. So you got a lot more going on there than what I got. I got some 16 gauge open wire line and 125 feet of wire up 70 feet. That's about it.
Yeah, but you always got a hell of a signal, Perry. And, I'm really thankful that I looked at yours and rolled my own, because it just, the PiNet versus the Double L, when I think about it. All the energy is where it belongs, and other than stupid wiring mistakes, not to beat this horse to death, but I'm thrilled with it.
Good. I'm glad you're having good. You're having good luck with it, because I love mine. It's quick. I can tune up everywhere. It took a little bit to get it, the feed line length honed in, so it was low on where I operated, but Yeah, it does. It does well, and I know a lot of other people like them. Well, not a lot, but a few other people run them and like them. So I just still would love to make it smaller. But I got a bunch of amps. I got a Ten-Tech tuner over here. I got a MFJ. They just sit there.
Yeah, a lot to be said for it. I mean, I got to take it off the shelf tomorrow, and I'm going to have to add some C. 500 puff is not enough. As I went down in frequency, I needed close to 600 picofarads, and with a certain amount of L. And obviously, you know, I'm going to wonder what's going to happen when I go up in frequency. The inverse on the low impedance as I go up in frequency, I'm probably going to need a lot of C there too. So I don't know, maybe I can fit the big Jennings in there, but that doesn't go to 0.
And one BCG. I just felt someone needed to say that, and I felt the responsibility.
So this Rainbird thing runs on what, 12 volts?
Real quick before I forget, Brent, I have mine's a 7 to 1,000 puff Jennings in mine, 5 kV. I think 7.5 kV peak or something. And each my inductors are 13 microhenries apiece, and I have to use all the inductance and pretty much all the capacitance I have on 160 with my antenna, man. It's maxed out. I'm like 5 turns from being at max capacitance.
Yeah, I think my coils are at least 30 microhenries. So, yeah, I can see that. And I'm using about 13 turns out of 20 to load up 160. It's right in the middle for 75 and 1 turn down for 40. So it's not linear. It also depends on the multiplier from the fundamental resonance and the feed line. You know all that. But yeah, I think the Rainbirds, Bob, run on 12 volts, don't they, Perry?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The Rainbird sprinkler valves, the gate valves for the launchers, I think they run on a 9-volt battery.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 12 volts. That's what I run on. Well, I honestly, they'll probably run off of 9 volts or less. I mean, I can't imagine them taking much voltage. Like I said, I just use a drill battery, and then I just, got the little springs and like the spring-loaded terminals in there. You take a piece of soldered wire, small 16 gauge, and it clips right in there perfectly. It won't come out.
Yeah, I gotta look at this because I got one of those twist valves. It's a ball valve, but it's got like a T handle on it, and I freaking hate it.
Not a good way to go, Bob.
I'm gonna send you a couple pictures of my launcher, Bob, on Facebook.
Yeah, right. That's cool. Much appreciated.
So if you get the 50-foot cable on it with the little box with the ignition key and the red button that says launch.
I got an older design. It uses a pneumatic release. So there's a sub-chamber in the Rainbird, and you have to cap off the port, and it uses a pneumatic dust-off trigger. So there's no electronics in mine. It's just that if I had it to do over, I would build one with a electronic gate on it.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I know Mark QFX's YouTube has some kind of electronic switch like that on it. But anyway, yeah, I'm rethinking it. The latest deal that I did with this was that I bought a 45 yesterday, and I'm kind of interested in doing that because the projectile won't get stuck at the bottom, and the other thing is I can kind of tie it to my forsythia in my front yard and point it and shoot it and like not be involved in the front yard when whatever happens. And I also saw there's a Wi-Fi control for those valves.
The CW on AM. What the hell was that?
It's a noise floor pump.
At least offset your frequency by 600 hertz and give us a chance. Thinking about it.
Yeah. It was funny. I could see it was CW, but it was almost zero beat.
Isn't it amazing how hard it is to decode that when it's...
So it's pretty good, man. It's like operating freaking CW on 6 meters with Aurora.
You can decode it by the waterfall display. You want to do it again?
Yeah, it's funny. You could actually.
Yeah,
And
just
doesn't
count
that
the
go
dashes
against
and
all the
bits.
rules of learning code. Don't visualize it.
Hell yeah.
Man.
Yeah, Clark, I got chirp, drift, and hum. My first OO report. My first contact.
Someone's calling CQ, and then Brett, you strapped him.
Yeah, someone's also using a keyboard to send. That's cheating.
You got a box of OOs. That's funny.
Box of envelopes, letters with no return address. They are in one box. The OO cards are in another.
Yeah, but you don't have a worked all fire alarms award, I bet.
Negative.
I got a worked all telephones in Upper Highlands of Lowell, Mass. I rented room on the 3rd floor of this big colonial house with a Valiant 500. I climbed up on the slate roof and tied it off to the chimney, and one end went to a telephone transfer switch on the telephone pole.
Hey, you want to hear a funny? Speaking about fire alarms, hold on. I was out in Milwaukee one time. This is like I was working for Eureka Systems, the RFID company, which ended up somehow becoming EasyPass, sort of. Anyway, I'm out at this place doing a patient wandering application where the old people put the RFID tag on their leg, and I built an antenna so that, once they go past a certain point, it's like the red light comes on. Anyway, I'm out there for like 3 days, and here I am in Milwaukee. I'm like, all right, it's lunchtime. Let's go to Amateur Electronic Supply. So we went there, and I bought a 930 with an MC50 microphone, and I brought it back to the office, and I took like a clip lead and just stuck it in the SO239 jack, ran the clip lead up to the sprinkler head in that room. They were like in leased office space. And the next thing you know, I'm like working guys in like Colorado on 20 meters and stuff. The owner of the company comes in and takes one look at what's going on in there, and he freaked out.
You would do something like that. Oh man, you're a troublemaker. Like me.
Is my audio back to normal? My audio was probably really low earlier.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened, Perry.
Sorry. I have a wireless headset that I use on sideband. With Vox, and I gotta turn my mic pre down when I forgot to turn it back up. Yeah, hey Jimbo. Hi Jim. Somebody's humming and humming away. Yeah, I hear that.
Hey, hello, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Who's that?
Sounds like somebody's putting a test lead on their. See, look, they're doing it to me now. It's like somebody's putting a test lead on their mic cable.
That's obnoxious.
Must be a heavy fog on the bay.
That's right. Yeah, right, Charlie.
The foghorn.
That's what it sounds like.
Hey, you guys gave me an idea. I was thinking, I was copying the mail here. I got me a Garand rifle, okay, and I got me a grenade launcher attachment, and I've got a dummy projectile, okay, that weighs the same as the original grenade, okay, same shape and weight. And I was wondering, if I tied a rope to that sucker and, just shot it off, I mean, it would probably pull that rope right on up to the top of the tree without any fishing line necessary. In just one step. What do you think?
Just snap the rope.
Yeah, you need some high test, man.
Pull your line or your rope up on the other side with the antenna attached to it. That way you don't take a 500-foot spool and cut 200 foot off of it just to throw away.
I mean, in a pinch, that would get an antenna up in a hurry, wouldn't it? I mean, and all that stuff's available too. I mean, I've got it here. I've got the rifle. I've got the launcher attachment. I think I even got some dummy rounds around here to fire them off with. I want to try it now.
Oh my God! The velocity with the shock. I can't imagine that would. I don't know. Give it a shot. Who cares?
You're not supposed to fire them off the shoulder. Okay, broken shoulder results. You put the butt of the rifle in the ground and fire it like a mortar. Okay, there's even a little sight that goes along with it. But projectiles, I think it goes about 500 yards, if I'm not mistaken, the maximum range on that thing. But if it was pulling a heavy rope, it might go a couple of 100 feet in the air and then come back down in a nice parabolic trajectory, and it's heavy enough to fall through.
I have people that call the cops when I have a fishing line out there with a rod. I am not used to a rifle.
Jeez, Bob, you gotta move.
Yeah, why do your neighbors hate you? You got a guy screaming, man. Somebody's got to let him out of the cabinet.
Freaking Klingon millennials.
Hey, Clark, you got your zombies? You let your zombies out again, man?
Who's the 00 station?
TV1, is that Ocean?
Wow, an 00 station. First time contact. Good evening.
Hey, welcome to the zoo.
There you go, you got it.
Yeah, you fit right in, man. Perfect call. Good evening, Perry in Philadelphia. W3MMR. I want to get listening out, guys. I got to go make me a healthy choice. Yes, Clark, a healthy choice frozen dinner, because I'm trying to be healthy. So, we'll see how that goes. W3MMR.
Right around the corner at W1IA Dairy.
Good night, Perry.
See you, Brian. We're on 73. Catch you guys later.
Good evening, Clark. You got a big signal here today.
That's a good thing. I got to get over the 7200 ambiance.
Yeah, hi, Jim. Yeah, some chucklehead playing games, but it's like a flea.
Yeah,
it's like a pre-show, Clark.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining. I don't know why they even bother trying.
Just a warm-up act.
Well, fellas, I called the tinnitus helpline today to see if I get some help with my tinnitus, but nobody answered. It just kept ringing and ringing.
Oh, gee, Jim. Hey, Clark, did you drag him up from 7.2?
Somebody constipated on the toilet?
Yeah, it's pretty funny, Blaine. They're thinking, S6 signal up here. And, you hear this. What's that Timmy say? A little flea in the wilderness?
It's like listening in to a baby monitor placed in a psych ward.
Yeah, good point, Clark.
Remember that back in the day, 49 megahertz? Man, you could learn all you wanted to know and more about your neighbors.
Yeah, won't you spy on your neighbors?
And the projectile, the red projectile you're looking at right there, that is exactly what I've come up with. But I think I have something that's more efficient if I stick with, there's a 3/4 inch sleeve, black sleeve PVC, that I can fit the 1/2 inch end cap into. And that's been my go-to so far, sticking with one PVC. And I have a very small needle factor in
You okay in your rig there? And the SB200. I'm not familiar with any of the Icons. The only solid state rig I have here is I have two of them, an 870 Kenwood and a 570. Don't use them a whole lot. Most of my operations are all vintage tube type. All the boxes in the audio chain. Yeah, there's only one box here, an outboard PA amp going into the audio drivers in the BC610. No EQs or nothing like that. It's probably obvious. And the 390. 390A is probably my favorite receiver. So is 390. I have four 390As. Probably for AM, the 390 is probably a little better receiver, but they're both good receivers. Always did say if I could only have one, it would be an R390. But I have something like at least 25. Sort of a junk collector. Shack's in the basement. What used to be the rec room is completely full now. Why, I don't know. You can only use one rig at a time. Just a bad habit, Pete. Anyhow, I hope it's holding up. Like I said, there's a lot of traffic on the band this evening. WA2CWA WB3TN.
Yeah, okay, Dave, fine. WB3TN, WA2C, returning. Okay, yeah, now you're holding up quite well in there. No problem at all. I want you, there's a pan adapter, a pseudo pan adapter on the 756, and I have it set for roughly 100 kc either side of the frequency here, and there's lots of blips, especially down the band, AM looking signals, whereas going the other way up the band is a lot of sideband looking signals too. So there is quite a bit of activity, but most likely it's widening out. Like I said, on 3880, I was hearing a whole bunch of I heard W0VMC and a couple of 9 stations on a little while ago. The band is lengthening out, and what I have is a R391. I forget now. I can't remember if it equates to the R390 or the R390A, but this thing is an R391. I think it's serial number 79 or something like that. I just looked on the name tag quickly because it's right behind the chair here, sitting on a small bench next to a kilowatt amplifier. But the label says R391. So I think remember the 391 had the option of having a whole bunch of motorized things in it, if I'm not mistaken. I'll try to answer how that thing goes. Obviously, this one doesn't, so although it says it's an R391.
Kind of gooey material. It's like, ugh, the fact that it worked at all, especially being of that length. Amazing.
Well, the guy was trying to use this example to support an article that he had posted, or a video he posted, of demonstrating pointing vectors, and he had this interesting experiment. Okay, now picture this: you got a car battery, and then just south of the car battery, 1 meter south, you've got a light bulb, and you're going to connect them through a switch, a knife switch, which is at the battery. Plus terminal goes to the knife switch, and then the wire goes west 150 million meters, makes a turn, and comes back to the light bulb another 150 million meters, right? So you got to, and then the same thing with the wire on the other side. The minus side goes east 150 million meters, turns around, so you got 300 million meters round trip from the negative terminal to the light bulb minus terminal. Okay, so if you got that in your mind, here's the thing. When you close the knife switch, how long does it take for the light bulb to come on?
Well, you're not making a capacitor with that circuit, and that was the capacitance between the two parallel lines was what was the downfall of the shortcomings, I should say, of the transatlantic cable.
Yeah, but what's the answer to the question? They made it multiple choice. They said 1 second, 2 seconds, a half a second, or 1/C seconds. And those were the only, or none of the above that was available as well. But the answer was surprising to me. And it was in the context of explaining that they started talking about the transatlantic cable. I just thought it was really interesting. I thought of you right away.
It's amazing what makes people think of me, and I'm modestly impressed. And one BCG.
Yeah, the light didn't come on at all because the battery was weak and it died before it charged all the wire. And one extra EW.
Hey, Charlie, we have a winner.
Hey, Jim, forget about the grenade launcher. Just use a mortar.
Some guy, just to, imagine you go back to like 1900 or whenever they were doing the transatlantic cable. They ran a brand new transatlantic cable, and one of the operators, I don't know whether it was here in Europe, decided that they were going to do it better. So they jacked the voltage up. It was supposed to be, maybe 400 volts or something like that, and because they used really high voltage for charging a line. And so he decided to run the voltage way up, and on the second word, it burned out the cable. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine back in those days what it would take to go find the part that's now flooded in the cable that runs along the bottom of the ocean between Europe and the United States? I would say that's grounds for payroll deduction, wouldn't you?
He's going to be working free for the rest of his life.
Yeah, you just burned out the cable we just finished laying over the course of 2 years. Nice going, jerk off.
Well, anyway, the surprising answer was it's 1/C seconds, which is nearly instantaneous because it doesn't matter how long the wires are. All that matters is how the distance between the battery and the load. Strangely enough, those wires could be infinitely long, and it would still be 1/C. In other words, it's 1 meter away, so it'd be 1/C seconds, regardless of how long the wires are. And I don't know if I buy that, but he had some pretty fancy math to prove it. And now there's this raging debate of competing videos on YouTube trying to bunk or debunk. I just thought it was really, really interesting stuff.
Well, he's right if the wires are close enough together, but then you didn't make that clear. How far apart are the parallel wires that go off? What did you say, 300 million meters or something?
Yeah, what's the velocity factor?
Well, yeah, it's essentially a transmission line where the lines are 1 meter apart, and it's 150 million meters long, shorted at the end.
Yeah, man.
Well, the light will come on fairly rapidly, but it's going to come on gradually because the first current going through the light is going to be a result of the capacitance between the lines. And then after that, it's going to end up being, so you're going to get like an AC effect followed by a DC effect.
Well, I don't know what the answer is, and it seems there's a bunch of different ways of looking at it. But it seems credible. It seems credible from the standpoint of, like I say, pointing was trying to say that the energy through a particular plane surface. That its direction, its direction vector could be found at any point in space. Blah 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 blah. So that's what was used to support this idea that the wire can be as long as infinitely long, and the light will come on as, like I say, as soon as you hit that knife switch, it's going to come on almost instantaneously because it's so close to the load. I mean, the load is so close to the battery. In other words, it doesn't matter how much time it takes for the energy to flow down the wires, just the time it takes for the energy to flow from the source to the load. And it's that distance that becomes important. It's kind of relativistic, isn't it?
Jim, I need to say this particular topic is uncharacteristically academic for this frequency. You may have noticed that you even silence the tropical bird in the background. This may not be appropriate for this crowd.
I feel ashamed. KM4XG.
You didn't save man.
Yeah, what happened to the psych ward baby monitor bird? Well, he got chased away by all that thinking stuff.
Well, you should thank me. It means we can go back to not thinking now.
Like the rest of America. I find that to be my normal state.
I find that thinking gets you in trouble.
I thought that was a state of confusion. All right, Brian, when was the last time that thinking got you in big trouble?
This dial-up that these guys were talking about on
oh my.
The K7DYY page, where there's a dial they put in the front panel, and I guess it accesses that small pot on the back side of it.
What about the DY7 rig?
Yeah, it's on the DYY Facebook hate book page. Somebody's got some little gizmo there. It looks like a clock. It goes into the front panel of where the carrier is, the carrier level. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm still wondering what that modification is.
Yeah, I know. Paul, there was some kind of conversation that went on today, I guess. Paul's going to post it on Hatebook. I'm interested in seeing that because I got an 8040 here, and I'm getting an 8160 tomorrow.
Facebook.
Yeah, I got a 8160, and it's on the other side of the room. I probably should hook it back up again and flex its muscles again, but I don't know. The E-rings work so nice, and that thing makes so much noise. I can't stand the fans, and that's a big turn off for me. The thing sounds like I got a
a jet engine, revving up next to me.
Well, there is a swap out for those fans, a direct swap out for quieter fans. And secondly, the trip-offs that you're getting with the K7DYY are a product of power, SWR, and modulation. So if you really keep wanting to run 180% positive mod, you're going to have to derate your output.
The triangle effect.
Well, I don't. I mean, I'm only running about 120, 130 positive peaks, but what the hell is singing over there? I'm beginning to suspect my series cap. But anyway, yeah, I think I would run it around 200 watts of carrier just to give me the headroom. But, this thing does twice that.
125% of modulation at what frequency?
200 watts. That's what I've been reading and stuff. And I you know what? I still have yet to hook up my 8040. But anyway, I'm hooking these down below a little bit. I have a couple of rack pieces, and I'm going to have a little bit of not a desk, but a shelf. And these are going to go below the shelf along with the processor equipment, the DBX 31EQ and the 286 and whatnot.
W1WR.
Hey, Blaine, here's an experiment you should try with the K7DYY. So get the antenna tuned as well as you can on your operating frequency, and then click the transmit frequency up and down 10 kilohertz and see what the SWR is there, because a lot of the tuners are very narrow-banded, and the SWR needs to be flat out to, 20K in bandwidth or 10K to either side. So if you have a really high Q tuner or a narrow banded antenna, you'd say, wow, look, I got a 1-to-1 antenna match. Well, that's great. When you start modulating, all of a sudden the rig kicks off. It's because the reflected power is much higher at higher, at the further out frequency, higher modulating frequencies.
I did do that. That was about a year or two ago, right after I bought it, and I noticed it ran better on 75 because the Q was much lower on the tuner. But the Q is very high on 160. So, you go 5 kcs and you'd have, 1.5 to 1. And I listened to that crap. It is coming from the freaking... So anyways, it's either coming from the transmitter or maybe the vacuum cap in the tuner. I don't know. But I remember it was a very high Q, but now that I have this different tuner, I should hook it back up and try it, see how it works.
Hey, Blaine?
You also need to look at how your audio is processed. If you're running an average of 125 on your modulation, you got some processor that's jamming some frequency way up. That'll kick it out, too.
No, I'm running what I run now. I just got the Innovonics 223 and my same audio setup, so... But, yeah, I do have to replace the fans. I bought the covers for it. But, yeah. Who was calling me?
I was calling you. W1WOR. War. What's happening? Hey, I'll send you a link to some other quieter cooling fans that will, give you the same air movement there. I use them here in the computers. A lot of guys are swapping them out. My somebody that I bought it from, he swapped it out to quieter fans, and mine's sitting to the left side of me, and mine aren't that loud there. And I think my K7DYY is much older than yours.
Well, you're half deaf anyways.
What was that, Brian?
Right.
Actually, what I thought of doing was taking the fans out and just leaving the holes in the front with the little filter over it, and then hooking, make a flashing that goes around the back where the air blows out, and have flex tubing that goes to a larger fan in the back away from me, and just have it suck the air out. And it would be still the same amount of air movement, but much quieter.
Yeah, somebody couldn't figure out why he set it up to suck instead of blow.
Never mind. Either way's winner.
Hey, whoever, hold on. Hey, whoever said that they were going to send out that email about replacement fans, please copy me. This is w2eny@yahoo.com.
Whiskey 2, go slow, because I'm old.
Whiskey 2, Echo November Yankee, Robert.
Roger.
Oh, so there's a Robert at the end? Okay. W1W. Okay, I'll send it also to you there. That thing there that you see on the carrier level there, comes up with wonderful modifications to the carrier level pot that allows repeated settings of the user who have growing wary of the thermal power shifting. And I guess, as we talk on the K7DYY, it heats up there and it drives the power up. And that's set in the manual. It will go up. It could go up 10 to 20 watts more as you are transmitting.
Yeah, no problem with that. I'm more about dialing it down when on said Bizwar.
Resonant antennas.
Resonant antenna. I got 4 Johnson matchboxes here, and I have open wire line that goes in here. I want to set my Bizwar right here in the shack, and heaven forbid if I have some stray Bizwar that comes around here or there. And you know what? But believe it or not, if I have problems with my Johnson matchbox, I might do the Bizarro and put a sleeve balun in here with like freaking RG58 or something. And my Bizwar is going to be 1-to-1 all day long.
Do you keep a beach towel on your Johnson? I think Ernie was in here. He had his Johnson Viking matchbox outside. I think he said he was going to put a towel on his Johnson there. So that was the discussion earlier. So, okay, Robert, we'll get that out a little later today there. Or this evening. We'll send it out to you on those cooling fans. N2PH, Phil. PHL actually knows about those fans, and I forget who else did here. Yeah, and Blaine, you got the dust covers on them. So, actually, like Clark said, there's 3 things on there: power, SWRs, and modulations. It's like in fire, You have the triangle. You take one of them out, you don't have a fire. And if all those are in line, the only time I get the SWR's got to go real bad out of whack there. But usually if I'm keying up the foot pedal, it shows a spike or something. I might double-click on there. So anyway, on that note, and let me get going. I got to go jump in the dishwasher and get clean. Maybe I'll be back when everybody else is still here. W1WOR.
You're right. I forgot about that. Sometimes you key up, especially in braking, you'll key up on key because someone else is keyed up, then you go to key up again and it kicks off on you.
It sees a spike. Like I said, I only had one incident with mine that had to go back to Bruce, and Bruce has been very good. Bruce sent me other extra fans and stuff, and when we were doing the 160 antenna configuration here, it was the first time I had a 160, and it was like, I forget what was going on there with it, Clark. Something was, the 160 was oscillating, and I'm getting 400 some odd watts there. Well, that's not good there and stuff. So I sent it back to Bruce. Bruce fixed it all up nice, and we've been using it fine business now. So off to the dishwasher, W1WOR.
Toodaloo.
BB3AL, good night to you.
Have the finest business evening ever.
Very good. Many thanks. Looking forward to seeing that stuff about the fans, and I like the suck out idea. I did some stuff like that with a KWS-1 that I had here friggin' 30 years ago. I remoted the RF deck, and I put the power supply and the fan a little ways away, and I ended up doing my own fan thing.
fed underneath through PVC pipe, believe it or not, with a little bit of flex tubing, and it worked freaking great. And anyway, I'm gonna have to bail anyway because it's 6:48 now, and my wife came down yesterday at 6:45 and gave me the 1 call and then the 2 call, and I didn't wait for the 3 call, but I know that's coming. So let me catch you cool cats later on, and I'll say 7-3 all the best, and Happy New Year's to all, and Happy New Year weekend to all. This is W2ENY Cornwall on the Hudson, New York.
Hello. 7-3, Bob.
Catch you later.
Seems like 4 X-ray go.
And 1 GTU.
Hey, Blaine, if you do that kind of forced air cooling stuff, those squirrel cage fans, those blowers or vacuum tube.
So we'll see what happens. That gives you a goal. 804 SSY and Dave. SS13TBW. Go ahead, Billy.
Yeah, I'm having a rough time pulling Brian out tonight. That's strange. What a real good copy on him. But good thing to get that way, Dave and Brian. I'll get back on the side and see if I can tune in enough to carry on a conversation there. L4SSY over to back over to you, Dave. WB3EGM.
Yeah, you're pretty strong in here in the club, Billy. Not quite as strong as Brian, but he's right down the road from me. Yeah, I don't know what's. I opened the receiver up and you sounded pretty good, Brian. So maybe it's just up here. I don't get excited. It's nice and strong. They can hear you. No probe at all. Hopefully, we talk a little bit. That'll clear up, and Billy will be able to jump back in there. Good to hear you, Billy. Now, the band is strange. It's changing very quickly. And I was talking to Pete there. There was a couple times that QRM covered them up for a couple seconds. I was hearing 9s and some 5s. They were strong. And they just dropped right out of the picture. It's probably just a little transitory stage. Things will straighten up here in a little bit, hopefully, anyhow. But Brian, have you heard anything out of Craig? I saw a picture on Facebook. He's in a hospital bed. Well, hopefully he's doing good. Have you heard anything on him?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you that I talked to him tonight there. He didn't seem like he was going to get out of the hospital yet. So they're still trying to get his blood sugar down and some other things regulated there. But I guess he's going to be like a diabetic. He'll have to take medication to keep his blood sugar down. Regulate it, and then he'll have to watch his diet as well there. So, I'm putting out about 125 watts on this volume. So, I haven't had this rig on for a while. I figured I'd fire it up and see if it still worked. It didn't want to. I didn't have any grid drive. I first turned it on, and I had to rock the band switch back and forth and pull around with it when I finally got grid drive. So, this probably isn't a very good microphone over here. I'm probably a better microphone to put on here. It looks like on the spot it's modulating up past 2 divisions, so I guess that's something where at least 100% of audio. So anyway, yeah, I think he's still going to be in the hospital. I think he's maybe going to get out tomorrow, he thought, but he doesn't know for sure. I know I wouldn't be able to stand any longer than I had be in that place. That would be. I guess he going to put up with it for another month or so. I think he went in maybe, what was it, Friday? Maybe. I think he's been in there since Thursday evening. He wasn't feeling good Thursday, and I think he went to the hospital. If it wasn't Thursday evening, it might have been Friday morning. So he might be listening on the web SDR there. I think he can listen to it on his phone. So at least he has some communications. One thing about having a web SDR is you can use them anywhere you have a cell phone. But yeah, he's not doing too good. My other buddy Jim, KC3NWN. He's sick with the COVID, so he's trying to fight his way through that. I guess he's starting to. I think he said he was starting to get better, but I haven't heard him on the air. So talked a little bit to Russ today on the 40 meter band. 40 meters was okay today, but it was kind of screwy too. It wasn't like it acts, of course 40 meters acts different every day, but just didn't seem to be quite as good today, but still made some contacts there and had a good couple guys there. Anyway, no, it's too bad Billy can't hear me. I don't know why. I talked to him on the Apache last time I think I talked to him. Okay, so, I don't know, maybe this old volume isn't working up to snuff anymore. I just don't use it enough. But I probably should try a different microphone in here, I don't know. I was going to tell you something else, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, maybe it'll come back to me. Anyway, well, if Bill's not in there, is he going to stay in there or not? I don't know, but I guess picking up that there's WB3TN. This is N3TBW.
You hearing any better now, Billy?
I don't know. I'm having a hard time pulling his audio out. I got horrible lightning crashes down here, though, Dave. I'm struggling real hard. I got the ride in the lightning crashes. I'm sure you're probably on the 610 or something. I've got a big signal on Brian, but the audio's just not as punchy, probably as push it on over. Like I say, I'm getting a horrible amount of lightning crashes down here, so I'm going to get out of y'all's way. Y'all carry on. I'll say 73s and get out of here. I just want to say good evening to y'all.
Yeah, okay, Billy. I jumped back in if it gets better. Yeah, your signal's not up what it normally is tonight either. I think it's just the band. Brian Strong in here. He's on his million. I think it's just a band. What? Got a voice in my throat. I got better. I'll jump back in, Billy. Good to have you. Thanks for the share. 73s for now. Not falling tag, Brian. Yeah, I saw you had a post and a picture on Facebook, and looked to me like he was going to turn around and try to steer the monitor behind him. I think he's trying to take that home. I use it for modulation monitors. That's good. I had a close call with that. The doctor, I had blood work, and they had called me back to have some more, and said, what did he call it? Wasn't diabetes, wasn't ready for it, but it was on the tip of my tongue. Anyhow, it was the next best thing. If I didn't watch my diet and pay attention and lose a few pounds, I was going to end up. And I did, and it got better, and he let me go. But slowly but surely, I'm falling back into the old habits. I better pay attention. What do you call it? Anyways, I know what you're talking about. I went through that. Craig, all the best. Well, that's audio, but it's just it's not as clear as I'm used to hearing. Of course, it might be my skill for lawyers. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Just doesn't sound like you usually do. Might be the mic, might be me. I don't know. There's plenty out the door. There's no trouble hearing it. When I open the receiver up to 8KC, I actually hit feel better. I don't know what it is. Okay, getting out of the hospital. Well, what I found the last couple of times I was there to eat, they let you out sooner if they need to bed. If they need to bed, if you don't, they tend to find some reason to hang on to you. I think that's on monetary problems. A couple of years ago, I went with blood pressure. Bad high blood pressure. I spent about 8.5 hours in the ER because I didn't have any beds. I know how that works out, too. I don't know if I know your buddy John called. Didn't ring a bell, but that doesn't mean anything. It just means I can't remember. Yeah, pretty nice day today. Looked outside, I thought it was really nice too. Trying to get this down to bed. Walked out in the yard, it's like a swamp out there. I was thinking about taking an old car out of the back garage, but not after all that rain. Grass looks neat, nice and green. Can't remember being that green and nice looking in December. Take that all the way into about the end of March and then let it get nice. N3 TBW, WB3EN.
Really plus testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that lighten it up a little bit there, Dave? Okay.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, boy, I want to try something while you're listening. I don't know if it'll make any difference or not. I'm using a different mic on this transmitter. There's 1, 1, 1. There's 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. Looks like 1's better to me.
R4C, but I do have external audio coming out over the there. It usually works pretty good, but I think there's only 6 kilohertz bandwidth on this because I have the 6KC filter in there. So anyway, yeah, I got a microphone here where I can push my glass, or maybe that'll help a little bit there. But it just didn't seem to be, now it looks like a little better on the scope. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe that'll be a little better anyway. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't ran this variant for a while, so I'm not sure what, whether it's working or not. So maybe it's got to clean out. Tune's going bad or something like that, I don't know. Anyway, you can always switch over to one of the other rigs. I got the T368 unplugged because I was using the outlet for the linear amplifier, and I got that on the, I plugged that into the 230 line because it's just on the one side of it, so the one lane of it anyway, so probably ought to just put a regular plug on there and plug it into the outlet like the other ones. You know, it's all in the same string, I think. So anyway, that's, getting better, but he had high blood sugar. 400. His blood sugar was up to 400 there, and he said that, he was not full of coughing, and then he has an arrhythm beat is not beating, but they think that might have been caused by the, the high blood sugar. So, he'll have to watch his diet here, because the diet diabetes, my brother, and he was put on medication years ago, and he was on that for quite a while, and then most of the, the mouth, and then I guess he went to the insulin shots after that. Anyway, I don't know. I guess when things are going to crap out on you in your body, but it's nice to he's the guy that I sold with Geos 100. He only gets on 40 meters, and him and Russ talk all the time in the afternoon, usually around around lunchtime. But he's always Russ there and stuff on 40. I don't think he doesn't get on. He don't have an antenna system for 75 here, so. Anyway. Yeah, I guess it's just the way it goes. But he said he was starting to feel better, I guess. A couple days ago. It was Friday or something. Well, New Year's Eve, I think it was. I talked to him, so. So anyway, I didn't notice much difference on that switch on the microphone there, Dave. So I wonder what that does. Does that switch the impedance and switch the cadence, or is that switching the file? So, WB3ETN, this is M3TBW.
Stood by there just a second. I thought Billy might jump back in. Apparently he's not hearing all that well yet. Switches the phase on the element. Some of them makes a big difference. Some transmitters it makes a big difference. This one I can see on the scope. It looked like one had just a little wee bit more positive, a little more higher piece. So that's why I left it on one. Sometimes some transmitters depends on the tube, depends on the transmitter, depends on the microphone. Some of it makes a big difference, some it doesn't. Maybe Craig just overdid it for the holidays. Ate too many insulin resistance. I think that's what the doctor said. So borderline, if I didn't behave, I was going to end up scared the crap out of me, and I behaved for 6 months. Down the back of the door here, I get more blood work, they'll probably be to watch myself, I guess. Yeah, I had atrial fib a couple lessons of it. In fact, that's why I took take blood thinners, Eliquis. Getting old is no picnic. If I knew I was going to live this long, I'd probably took better care of myself. I should have took better care of myself, I'll put it that way. Let me see what you got coming. Well, that's what happens. You overeat it, and you don't pay attention, and there it comes back. Look, I remember talking to Jim now. Tim and Russ talked a lot there right before Christmas about all the foods they were going to make and eat and pick up, and I talked to them a couple times in there. I know who you're talking about now. That sounds pretty good now. I don't know if you changed mics or what you did or something changed. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing was not wrong in the first place. It just wasn't what I'm used to hearing it sound like. I had my one here on my back. It's paired up with the SX100. The SX100 took a fit. It's working, but man's got a weird noise. It sounds to me like a plate load resistor or a coupling cap is starting to break down. Snapping and crackling noises and making all kind of noises. Sometimes you quit. Then they come right back. So I get it on the bench and start pulling tubes and see what stage it stops at. Either that or just let it turn on until it finally fails. Be easier to find. It's a good old receiver. I like the SX100. It's not real big. Could be wider for AM, but it's real selective and you know, it's pretty accurate when you get the main dial set in the right place. I've had it on my bench over here for a long time, so it's no shame I don't use it for months at a time, then flip it on, expect it to keep working. Just like our Valiant there. Just like my Valiant was. I was dropping grid drive on for a while. I just cleaned up a little bit, and it's working a lot better now, too. Hey, you were about a half KC low. Then I think when you tuned up, you went a little bit above it, but that hurt. I saw it at 390. I have that new laptop sitting over here. I don't see as much activity on the band there was a few minutes ago. It was getting pretty crowded in there. Oh, nothing new up here. Just going around, keeping my head down. Don't want to go out now. I don't want to be too damn old to get the COVID, that's for sure. That probably finished me off. N3 TBW, WB3ETN.
N3ETN, this is N3 TBW. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I don't blame you there. This strain is really spreading like rapid fire. I think they said there was 80,000 new cases in the state of Pennsylvania alone. 80,000. Only the death toll is real low. Only like 6 or less than 10 deaths or something in the whole state. So. But they said that this is more contagious, the strain, you know, and not as deadly. Like, I guess you don't, get sick, you know, maybe you get sick, you know. Not quite as powerful as the main one, but, you know, you don't, still, you don't want to get any of it, you know, and there's still other viruses going around, too. Other people are getting sick with, you know, other flus. Still other flu stuff going around. So I guess, you know, it's just, got to be careful. So, I don't know. I don't know when this shit's ever going to end, you know. I'm hoping this is going to be the last of it this year, you know. Hopefully we'll get back to more what was a normal life. You know, it was too good at that point, but it was a lot better than it is today. There's a lot of people who are having trouble with supplies, you know, supplies in. I know I'm having trouble with it at Rockwell. Getting shipments in, you know, things are delayed because people are laid off or not working because they're either sick with the COVID or whatever the hell it is. They're short-handed and they can't get staff, and it's just affecting things worldwide. And then, you know, waiting for all these jobs and new jobs that need to be done, and there's no equipment. The equipment's delayed and so it's not too much stuff for a good thing, you know. It's hard to sell the product if you don't have anything to sell. You know, you can say you're going to sell stuff, do everything you want to do, but if it's too far delayed to get the product, and people tend to not want to close the deal, you know, so that's another problem that's been going on. So I guess the truck driving companies are having trouble. There's nobody wanting to drive, nobody wants to work. I don't know. A lot of the restaurant chains are closing down or having shorten their hours so they can't keep people right away. Not only that, it's just all different businesses are like that. So I don't know what's going to happen. Just wait it out and see. My old boss in my old company called me or emailed me and offered me my job back for a lot more money, but I told them that no, what I'm doing, you know, where I'm at now, because this company's a lot bigger, and you know, I just don't know up to the down the road, a few years down the road, they may lose the business. Contract. They just renewed the contract in the state contract. I'm good for another 2 years. So, I guess every 2 years if they renew it, not renewed, so I know I got a job for another 2 years. Anyway, from this point. So, I'm going to keep on doing it. You know, it's paying the bills and have enough to even have enough to save a little bit that I can anyway, so I don't pull over before that happens. So anyway, diabetic stuff is a rough thing to get through. You know, you gotta watch your diet. You gotta check your blood sugar. And I guess they have a new way of doing that in the blood. I guess there's a monitor or something that instead of jacking yourself in the finger all the time, I think there's a different way to do that now. Which is, better than having to jab your finger with it to get the blood sample and put it in the machine. Because I know a lot of guys that had to do, a lot of people that had to do that. The Fragometer is the same range, 147, I would be 47 or 49, I think we're about the same. Only a couple apart or something like that, I think so. But I do try to watch. I don't try to overeat and eat too much, and I'm not a sweet. I don't eat sweets all that much anymore, and I don't snack. At least I don't try to. I mean, I occasionally have some maybe a snack here or there, but I don't do it anymore. I don't eat that much, and I don't like eating a lot of, anything before I go to bed, because if it, it just sits there and in my stomach, it's indigestion anyway, so I'll just eat an early supper and be done with it. So, we have a cup of tea, and I've been learning to drink tea without sugar, and also drink coffee without sugar. I had to add a little cream to it, but I get away with the same. Try to do what I can. I know it's in the family, and I know high blood pressure and diabetes. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, and the others. I don't know. I don't know really too many people having cancer problems in the family, but that doesn't mean that that's what this works. So. Just never know what's going to happen. So live every day the best way you can, and enjoy every moment. You gotta rest, So, I didn't catch what rig you were on tonight. Must be on one of your, you said you were on T3 or AC. I think you said you were on DC610, so. Putting out a hell of a signal on the N3 ETN. This is N3 TBW.
Okay, bud. 100%. Getting a little better. No trouble at all. Yeah, I run the T3 over by the workbench. Just fooling around with that laptop here. I don't know what happened to it. I think I figured what happened to it. I picked up the wrong mouse. That wireless mouse is... I was the one sitting here. I don't know where it even came from. I was trying to figure out what's wrong with the computer. Wasn't working. I pulled that little receiver out and worked with my finger on the pad, put it back in, and it wasn't saying it. Shut it off. Then I saw a little off top. I pulled the battery out and pulled her out. Like 90% of the cable around here it caught fire. That's what happens. It's one of the joys of getting older, I guess. Of course, I did things like that when I wasn't this young. I don't know. Okay, on the virus and the flu. It seems to me that the hospitals are incentivized to call it the virus. Now, if this version isn't as deadly, it's more contagious. They haven't let up on it any. I haven't heard anybody got the regular flu or anything else lately. I mean, you're hospitalized 9 times out of 10. It's COVID, the last couple of years anyhow. So. Not that I'm making light of it and don't believe it's there, but we're never going to have it long as it's advantageous for political purposes and money. I keep hearing things on the shortwave and other places about some of the stuff that they don't even let out. The hydroxychloroquine or whatever it is, and the other one, ivermectin. Now doctors making testimonials of how good it worked and being censored for saying it. I don't remember in my lifetime of such controversy over something. I don't know. It's suspicious to me. I don't know. Okay, on the work situation, yeah, I had to make a decision like that a couple of times. And when I worked at Westinghouse, I had a pretty good job, and I got offered another job at Votek. And I thought about it, but I think you're better off with a bigger company and more security. And it's good to pull a few bucks back. I don't know if it's going to be worth anything. But I'm not rich by any means, but I found out when you get to retirement age, why health is a lot more important than money. I mean, you need enough money to eat and survive. You don't need as much money. You know, I don't need near as much money as I did when I was working. To start with, I'm not driving to work every day. That was like 25, 30 miles round trip. I just went straight to work. Just a little price of gas and the wear and tear in the vehicles and the tires and all that, but it all adds up. You just don't have a lot of expenses. I don't know. It's money. Well, it's not the biggest issue, at least for me. Health is important. It's good to have a few bucks back. One thing was good that Westinghouse had a pretty good 401k, and that helped out. That made things nicer. I'm almost afraid that now maybe I ought to get it out of there because not that much to start with, but they're talking about getting after that too. Crooked politicians. I don't know. Tea or coffee, I don't have much of a taste for either one, particularly tea. I don't like. My wife likes tea. I don't like the smell of it. I get up in the morning, she's brewing tea. I get out of the kitchen. I don't even like the smell of it. Coffee, I used to ride the bike at night. And, chilly evening in the town or something like that. I get a cold and stop and have a nice warm cup of coffee and warm me up. I never got in the habit. Before I probably would if I started drinking. I like the smell of it. The coffee tastes as good as it does when it's brewing, Not instant coffee, but when they brew it. If it tastes as good as it smells, I'm sure I'd be hooked on it. I did in my time drink my share of beer, though. I had a real taste for beer. Which may be part of my health causes. I don't know. Maybe not. I just haven't had a taste for it lately. There's beer in the refrigerator that's probably been in there too long. Probably needs to throw it away. I bet in the last whole year I've been drinking 8 cans of beer. I used to drink that in the morning for breakfast. So I guess I quit that too. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder if Billy's still around. Take a little pause. See if he's hearing a little better now. Seems like the band's settling down. I'm looking at that computer. I'll see all the crap that was on there before. See somebody down below there's got a big signal down on 73. You can't see that far. Anyhow, back it comes. M3TBW, WB3ETN.
I'm still out here hanging around. Still get quite a bit of lightning crashes on my end. I think we're supposed to know sometime. And tomorrow. N3 TBW.
Yeah, what's hanging out there, boy?
Yeah, I switch microphones. Because of tone, you know, I can roll out some of the lows and boost some of the highs, and I can. It seems to work pretty good on these it's a static microphone, but it's if you got something that you know needs a boost there. I don't know. This speech amp in this Valiant is more designed, I think, for line level. Even though there's one more, you know, a high impedance input, but on the back there's a, you know, there's a phono jack there for the, your line level input. So maybe I have to try throwing jacking something in the rock, see if it all even works there. Maybe a better way to go on it. TBW in Delmont, Pennsylvania. Yeah, okay, they're even it is. I don't drink beer anymore. I used to drink beer, a ton of beer. I used to drink other beer, smell beer, and I switched to Bob. I got into that kick, and I kicked and drank up the Bob for a while, and man, that's a required taste to like the beer. I don't know what got me into that. I drank that for a long time, and then, you know, I switched back to the Miller High Life, and when I decided to quit drinking altogether, I just that stuff it started to rot my gut. I just it would bother me. I didn't want to do it anymore. I think that was one of the reasons that got my stomach screwed up with the heartburn and all that. Here or there, but I don't go ahead and I'm on call this week and I don't drink at all. I didn't drink the whole week. So. Yeah, but I do like to have a beer every once in a while. I mean, it's just beer, you know, a nice good beer is good. I don't like that real dark stuff too much. You know, a little bit every once in a while. IPAs are okay, but you know, I tend to like this on just the regular, just the regular stuff. You know, sometimes it just craving for it. But I won't drink a case or a beer or a week. Well, it's less than a week. It took me, you know, I could get a case of beer, 440 pack, and drink it by 5 days. You know, I'd come home and I'd drink. Every time as soon as I get home, and go around and get on the radio and do all that. Drink it. Next thing you know, you kick that case. You know, so before I started to have a real big beer gut on there, you know, that stuff was there was a lot of fun in there. It'll definitely you'll definitely get some weight gain going there. If you're not doing anything else, I know that I got off of it. I don't like beer so much. I lost where I love beer weight. So I think that was a big part of my problem too, was drinking so much beer. And yeah, definitely I had my share of drinking days, that's for sure. I used to go out to the pool, you know, the pool leagues and the dart leagues, and then was over that for a while. And then you'd go to different places and play and that kind of thing. I don't do that anymore. I used to have a membership to the Legion up here, and I never renewed the membership. That's probably been a couple years ago. So, but now with all this stuff going on, I don't think they're open that much, and I don't think they even have evening hours if you stay open. I remember stand down in that mansion and after Friday or something, they would, have some, maybe an open night or something they'd have down there. And get down there and leave until 3 o'clock in the morning. And go home. So. Yeah, I don't have all that anymore. I kind of miss it, but I kind of don't. Just a lot of money and all that stuff. You're just taking the money away from that. Anything out of it, except for a headache. So, but it's fun, it's fun while. In the younger days here was fun, that kind of thing. Going bar hopping and all that. Trying different places out. And meeting women and all that kind of stuff too, so. I think I just, after a while, it gets to be, too much. Oh, anyway, T368 sounds real good there, Dave. Yeah, you got it sounding pretty good. I should fire that thing up and plug it back in and move off the door so I can put it on the table here to come back in. But well, I'm trying to sound a little bit better than that. But, well, as long as you hear me a little better than this, like I said, have a little bit of high frequency response. At least some of the highs there, maybe that'll help things out. So, back up to you, Dave, I guess, WB3ETN. This is N3TBW.
Go ahead and make one, Billy.
Static crashed on my end. I still pretty darn close, I tell you. So must be pretty close to me down here. So yes, I got to get around and try to get me a full loop put up at some point. That full loop just ain't as bad on that kind of stuff. So what piece out there was out. So yeah, I'm on the 500 this afternoon. This evening. That 160 lines are on a different direction. It just don't do that well up y'all's way. Back on that, it does this wire's cut specifically for this channel. It does a real good job. Kind of broadside, so it talks real well that way. Stuff that they done put all that stuff in line and find the resistor in my ETS DX100. Stupid mistake. You gotta be more careful. Anyway, just one of them deals, I reckon. See if we can get that fixed here for long. Did you go to Arkansas to hunt? I'll be headed up to Michigan to pick up night. So maybe in the evening after no later than 10, maybe I'll have that thing on there. Or hang out in the office sometime, talk about AW1. Anyways, I'll flip it on back up there to you, Dave, WB3ETN within 3 TW in the wing. Kill forces wrong.
Okay, Billy. No problem. Nice and strong up here. I've heard you stronger. I think it's just a band. Yeah, getting a little atmospheric noise, but no big lightning crashes or static bangs. Well, I know I had the shack out in the garage on the other side of the wall here. I forget what I had for a tuner there. I forget what it was. Anyhow, when it did get windy and it get static, you had to charge the caps up in that tuner and arc across the plate there, 10,000 volt spacing. First time I was afraid to, I used to unplug the antenna wire and plug it into the ground. That's what I do now. I forget which tuner that was. Might have been a Johnson kilowatt matchbox. You can actually hear it snapping over. sort of scary. But not hearing it now. I really don't know what our forecast is for. I believe it's going to get colder. I didn't pay no attention. It's when you're retired and you don't have to worry about going out. When I go out depends on what it looks like out the window. Unless I really need something. So it doesn't matter to me. I saw. Looks like something took off in the audio for a second. Feedback or something. I was on the other side there yesterday, filling around looking for something. They got a DX100 out there. I don't remember which. The 100B. Oh, pretty nice shape. I don't remember what. I think I was in the middle of changing the power supply filters, and I did go sidetrack, never went back. I'm going to drag it in here one of these days and go through it and see what the story is. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Always liked DX100s. Nice no-throw transmitters. I think I have one in the upstairs of the barn that I got off of Brian 20 years ago. I think it's a B2 maybe, I'm not certain. Pretty sure it is. One of the reasons I wanted it was for the cabinet. And while I was out there rooting around, I found another pretty beat up looking one. I think it's a straight DX100 Morahan. See, it's nice to get old and start to forget things. It's like going to a ham fest every time you start rooting around. Okay, on the power drive. Yeah, that might help. Before I forget. Sounds like you now. And I'm on the 610. I'm on the 610 over by the workbench. The one they called a 213. So it's radio transmitter T213 /GRC 26 U.S. Army. Made by B&W. It's the same million transmitter as my 610i. I don't know why they call it 213. Maybe just because it's Army. I don't know. That's what I'm on tonight, Brian. I know what you mean about the buy. I used to. The only time I ever stopped at 6 or 8 beers was when I ran out. I couldn't get to anymore. I used to really put it away. Drank nothing but Budweiser for years. And that's a beer you have to acquire too. The secret of not getting a headache is you keep drinking. I used to get up in the morning and drink beer before breakfast, and it never did have a headache. I don't remember. But you're right. It's a good way to spend money. I used to go out for a pizza. There's a nice little local bar down here, had good pizza. Well, it was like a $50 or $60 evening, get a pizza and a couple drinks, sometimes $75. You don't realize that, but it adds up. You know, after a while, it adds up. It doesn't do you any good, I guess. I don't know. It keeps you flushed out. I drank a lot of water. Westinghouse had water cooler, ice machines everywhere. And I acquired a habit. I had a glass of water with me all the time. Maybe that helped flush the alcohol out of my system all the time, keep me flushed out. I don't know. But I don't really miss it. There was a time I missed it. If I got up and I had to go for a couple of days, and I can admit it now, but at that time I wouldn't admit it. I was pretty well worked on it, but don't miss it at all. I didn't make my mind up I was going to quit. I just sort of got away from it. I don't know. Probably for the best. I can fall down now stone sober. If I was drinking, I'd be in a world of trouble. N3 TBW with KO4SSY WB3EN.
Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
That sounded like Brett, but that wasn't his call. Who was that?
That was a good guess.
N2DTS and the crew. Got Dave and Billy out there, KO4SY on the side there as well. Johnson volume here tonight. Just a little trouble getting this thing going, but that's working now. So anyway, the drinking thing I would do is whenever I was working in that machine shop, I think all of us drank in there. I think that was how we got through the day. What we did, there was a 15-minute break in the morning, and then there was a half-hour break at lunch, and then another 15-minute break in the afternoon, and we go up, get the 15-minute break shot, and then for lunch we'd have a 22-ounce beer and 2 shots, and then we get the shot in the afternoons. And pretty much didn't eat any lunch, and there was heat treat in the back there too, and that place was always hot as a firecracker in the summertime. But then we'd go meet up at the Wicks